Then Charles turns around and says to Audrey, do you and your husband have any plans?
Yeah.
And he says, we have a swingers party planned if you want to join on a boat.
Guess party.
Pretty much was, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Go.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Six and Below. This week, we're on a journey to the south of France with these two. I'm Eric. This is Darren.
Welcome into Six and Below Movie Podcast.
Cue the intro.
You forgot they're in Italy as well.
Yeah, they do go to Lake Como
Yeah.
at some point. They're only there for a little bit, though.
A little bit.
Yeah, but
Still there.
is it worth mentioning Lake Como?
No, I think it's perfectly fine. I think we're carrying on, aren't we?
Yeah. I could have said that they got a yacht to Spain, and then from Spain to Monaco, and then across to Lake Como. If you want me to be more
Accurate.
precise. Where did they come from originally? New York.
Yeah, New York.
I hope it wasn't Brooklyn after last week.
Hey!
Hey, I'm walking here.
Oh my God,
no.
that's a funny one.
Oh no! If you've not seen that, check out last week's episode. Super Mario Bros. The 1993 one with Bob Hoskins and that other fellow.
The good one.
Yeah. Check out Mario Skank.
Right then, before we get into it, let's do the clip quiz.
Yes.
Stop making fun of me. Oh, damn. It's Kyoto.
It's Kyoto.
I can't understand a word that guy says at the
No,
end.
mate. No, fucking hell. Oh, I actually know what this one is.
Because you sat there watching as I've done it this week.
All right. Well, I was going to say, well, because I know my films really well, and I know my Sandler films, and, and
It's
yeah.
a classic.
Yeah. But yeah, if you guys out there, if you know what this clip was from, please leave it in the comments below if you're on YouTube.
Or contact us on email.
sixandbelowpodcast@gmail.com.
That is right.
Yeah. So.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this film that we're doing today, Murder Mystery, with Adam Sandler, Jennifer Aniston, who is actually put forward by one of our subscribers. So if there's a film which is below 6 or below 60% on Rotten Tomatoes, drop us an email and we'll stick it on our list. And if the supercomputer picks it, well, we'll watch it.
Well, yeah.
Vitals.
Yes.
Released 2019.
Yep.
Runtime, 1 hour and 37 minutes. IMDb rating, 6. Metacritic, 38. Rotten Tomatoes. Critics, 44. Audience, higher or lower?
Higher.
46.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a close one, that. They're not
Very
usually
close.
that close, are they?
No.
Hey, I'm surprised at the critics score, to be honest. They usually fuck over Sandler.
Well-
Anything Sandler touches is usually like a 10% or something.
Yeah, so you think it's higher then?
I think it's higher than what they would usually give Sandler, yeah?
You see, the thing is with critics, I don't understand them at all. I really don't. Have you ever seen a film called Drag Me to Hell?
Oh, yes. I think so, yeah.
At the very end, a goat, they do like a medium thing, get a psychic person in and they got to sacrifice a goat.
Oh, yeah.
And they drag the spirit into the goat. So the goat gets possessed, starts talking, and then they kill the goat to
Right.
kill the demon. It is the most comical thing. I was going to put it onto our list. So when Halloween comes around,
Sorry, this
can
this
do
happened
this.
in a film.
oh yeah. It's
Is this the one where some girl pisses off an old lady so she curses him?
yes,
Yes, I think I have seen this.
really, really shit,
Yeah.
really bad. Well, I looked on IMDb,
Yeah.
6.7. Well, right, okay. I wonder what Rotten Tomatoes says about it. Critics 92,
92.
92,
92.
92. But do you know The Grudge,
Yeah.
which is a really good horror film?
I've seen The Grudge. See, I'm not a fan of horror films. I liked them back in the day.
Right, it's the Japanese one with Sarah Michelle Gellar
Oh.
and the guy who's a president in Independence Day. And it's got the monster in it, well, like the demon anyway, but crawls upside down with long hair and it goes,
Is that not The Ring?
And it just kills you.
Or she got creaky joints or something.
Yeah.
That's what I sound like in the morning.
Same here. Well, that is a real good horror film. It got like 43%. And it's like, The logic is not there. That's a really good one. And then Drag Me to Hell is awful, and it's 92%.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think I have seen Drag Me to Hell, and I didn't think it was part of a film.
Right.
Well, to be fair, it wasn't good enough. I wouldn't say it was 90% because if it was, then I probably would have A, watched it more than once, and B, remember that I had watched it.
Yeah, true.
Well, I have a vague recollection of it. But The Grudge is what you described there with the girl like being all creaky and whatnot. Is that not the girl from The Ring?
Similar.
Because I remember Ring back in the day, and I loved that film.
It's quite good, actually, wasn't it, The Ring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a remake of a Japanese film on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's the original Japanese one, which is even more scarier.
Yeah.
It's even better. Budget for this film?
Yeah, go on.
Unfortunately, not available due to it being a Netflix-owned production.
Oh, yeah, because this is one of the ones from... I think we discussed this before when we reviewed The Do-Over.
Yeah.
Because didn't he like throw shitloads of money at Sandler and said, make us some films?
A lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
However, this was the joint highest ranking film that we've done on the podcast, along with Werewolves Within, which was also a 6 on IMDb, which was right on the borderline for us. It was a Netflix production. Obviously, there's no stats for the budget or the profit. But Netflix did report in the first 72 hours of release, over 13 million households had watched it on their service. And by week 4, it had over 73 million streams, making it Sandler's most successful film on a streaming platform.
Well, I'm not surprised he made a second one then.
I will be honest with you, though.
Have you watched the second one?
I watched this one when it first came out.
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
Yeah. I didn't watch it for this. I was it was one of them where it's like, I've seen this before, but I couldn't remember like who the killer was or anything.
Even when I said to Leanne, I said to her, we've seen this before. She's like, no, we've never seen this before. You've not watched it with me. I was like, it came out when we was together, so we watched it together? No, I've not seen it before. Never seen it before. 3/4 through it near the end, she's like, oh yeah, we have.
Yeah.
That's kind of sums up this film, isn't it? It's a good film, but not memorable.
It really isn't. And like, pretty much, I think if I didn't have notes written down in front of me now about the film, I probably would have forgotten. And I've watched it twice this week.
Yes.
It does. It's a weird one, this, as we'll get into. It's a weird film. Not weird in the sense of it gets weird, the actual film. I mean, it's weird the way you kind of come away feeling from it, in a way. Anyway, carry on. I'm just, you know me, I can't articulate shit at all. And yeah, I do a podcast. So, yeah, as we were.
You do like to take the long way around, don't you?
I do. I say like 17,000 words when 2 would do.
Doing last week on Mario. She kind of got a job which goes to here. It could be in Peru, she could be in Spain, she could be in Morocco. So, yeah, she's a paleontologist. I can't remember that. But as a job, she travels. That's what I had to say.
I know. As a job, she could be anywhere in the world, but instead, I literally went round the world with it.
15 different countries, I think you mentioned.
Yeah.
Do you want to know who's directed, written, and who it stars?
Yeah, I'd love to know that, yeah.
Tell the audience.
Oh shit, that's my bit, innit?
Sorry, I was asking the audience if they want to know.
So yeah, no worries. So this was directed by Kyle Newacek. So he's not really done much other directing that I could see. He's done a few TV series. He's done like What We Do in the Shadows. He did direct that Game Over Man. I don't know if you've seen that. I think that was on Netflix.
Yes, it's on our list.
Yeah, I have seen that. That was a bit shit. But he also did...
I thought it was funny.
Yeah. Is that the one when they're in the hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of like Die Hard, but with stoners.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah.
Oh my God. One of the scenes, okay, this is why I put it on the list, is when the guy's hiding in the closet.
Oh, when he gets his dick out.
He's bollock naked in the cupboard. That's fighting with another guy. Then the boyfriend's like, fella gets killed. It looks like he's getting dry bummed and hanging out the window and stuff.
Oh, fucking hell, no.
You got to see it.
Yeah. Well, the guys out of that are from a TV series, I think, called Workaholics.
Yes.
And he's also directed some episodes of that as well. That's mainly what he's known for. But
now you mention it.
Yeah.
That guy who's the lead one in that Game Over Man.
Yeah.
He's actually working quite close now with Sandler on some of the new productions of the Happy Gilmore productions. He is in
Well,
quite a lot of them.
He gets about that guy, that main guy, like the short one who
Yeah,
gets his
yeah.
dick out in that film.
I quite like him, though, to be fair.
Yeah, he's all right. He's quite funny, to be fair. He's funny to laugh with and laugh at.
Yeah.
He's one of them. So it's written by a guy called James Vanderbilt, which has the most upper class fucking name I've ever heard in my life. Vanderbilt. Anyway,
Do you know what it reminds me of?
what?
You're on Family Guy
Yeah.
when they do them cuts with the rich guys with the massive jaws.
Oh shit, yeah. Let me have a look at a picture of him because he might have a massive jaw. Not massive, but yeah, Vanderbilt. Yeah, it sounds a bit pompous. shall we say.
Rothschilds.
Yeah, but yeah, so it was kind of written by this guy, but it bears a passable resemblance to the Tommy and Tuppence Beresford novels by Agatha Christie, which is about a married couple that find themselves mixed up in all kind of mysteries. So it's very loosely based on kind of their shenanigans, because obviously it's a murder mystery film. Obviously, that's the name of it, murder mystery. So guess what it's about. So this guy, though, he's got some credits under his belt. So he wrote Scream, the one from 2022, though, not the original. Scream 6. He did the screenplay for Independence Day Resurgence.
Oh, God.
He did the screenplay for that.
It was all going so well.
So, bit of a mixed bag. I think the best rated film I could find on the list was Zodiac from 2007, which was rated 7.7. Everything else is kind of a bit... So, the cast.
Can I say something quickly about the cast?
You may say something.
Right.
I will allow it.
I don't know if you've seen it. Have you got IMDb up in there?
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of.
Yep. If you open up top cast, scroll it down, Jackie Sandler. What is her character's name?
I did notice this, and I don't think it's on my list. I think I kind of did it, but I did notice it when I was doing, when I was getting the information together. Is it like something like stupidly hot air hostess or something daft like that?
Close. Great looking flight attendant.
Great looking flight attendant, yeah. I did notice that when I was looking through the cast, and I was kind of, all I thought to myself, I wonder if he had to do that for her to allow him to do another film with Jennifer Aniston.
So you think it's a little bit awkward on a couple of scenes?
A little bit, yeah.
Here's my story wife and my real wife in front of me right now.
Yep.
We'll talk about that later, though.
But yeah, I did, to be honest, I was kind of thinking that, and I was thinking, you think the only reason he's kind of done this film or agreed to do this film and the next one is so we can have a bit more time with Jennifer Aniston after... Because have you seen the other film he did with him? Is it... What was it called now? Is it Just Go With It? Seen that one? Where I think he's a plastic surgeon and he's trying to date some like young bird. Funny film. I would recommend that one. That's a good film.
Just looking at the trailer right now.
Oh, yeah. Really good film. And the woman he pulls is fit.
I mean, yeah.
Watch it, mate. It's funny. Funny film.
The only general note I've actually got on it.
I wonder if yours is the same as mine.
But what is with Sandler's shitty tash?
Oh, no, that's not my general note. But no, that's a good general note. Yeah, what is with that fucking tash? Did he just think I'm going to be playing a cop? So I need to have a fucking mustache.
I do apologise in advance. If you have only got a mustache and nothing else, you look like a paedophile.
Yeah, you are a nonce if you have a mustache. I mean, my dad had a mustache, and anyway,
I'm not saying you are, by the way, right? Nobody is saying that people with mustaches only, but you look it.
Yeah,
it doesn't look right.
No,
there's only one or two people that can pull it off.
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah,
and Magnum PI.
Oh, you got Burt
Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, I suppose. Unless you're
that was a big tash. Big thick tash isn't bad. But when it's something like Sandler right now above us.
Yes. It's almost like he is trying to be, well, he even mentions it in the film, doesn't he? Magnum PI. Magnum PI or Burt Reynolds. But he looks like he fiddles kids.
He does.
He does. It looks like behind Aniston there on the picture. I know if you listen on Spotify, you can't see it. But The picture we're looking at now is Adam Sandler stood next to Jennifer Aniston. She looks like she knows something that we should really know, like she's almost trying to give us the eye. But I reckon behind her is just a kid ready for the sniffing.
And he's licking his lips.
Biden style. And he is licking his lips.
Yeah.
He's
very
looking at
nonsense.
us as to say, I've got a kid down in here and I'm playing with it. or
Could be.
Or he could, given the benefit of the doubt, he could be tickling Jennifer's ass. Which probably would make more sense because I'd probably look like that if I was tickling Jennifer's ass. And she looks like she is having her ass. She looks like she is. She looks like she is having her ass tickled. I'm not drunk this week.
I know. You sound it then.
I know, right?
Okay, what about your general note?
Mine says, was this fucking film sponsored by Claritin?
Oh, there's a lot of name drops, isn't there?
Mate, they fucking mention it every 5 fucking seconds.
That's a good point, actually. They did say it a lot.
I think every other scene is sponsored by Claritin. At one point, I was literally expecting Jennifer Aniston to turn around and go, and have you got any Claritin? Like,
Look, nod to
fucking
the
hell.
camera.
I mean, seriously, I want to know. Yeah, I know we talked about. I know we talked about fucking Sandler and his product placement shit before. Like when we did the do-over, if you remember, I think it was it like Bud Light or something?
Yep.
When he's on his boat and he fucking pulls out a big keg of Bud Light and stuff like that.
He
We
does.
spoke about it then. Is it not enough that he got like about 20 fucking £100 million from Netflix to do this, that he has to throw in fucking Claritin?
I will be honest with you. When I was going to watch it first time round, I was telling myself, trying to take a note of everything that is like product placement. Because a lot of his films, there is a lot of
Oh, they
product
do,
placement.
definitely.
Little Nicky, Popeye is all
Yeah,
over it.
Popeyes, yeah. With the fucking, oh, the Popeyes. Give me the Popeyes. Oh, the Popeyes.
What accent is that?
I don't fucking know. Whatever accent they use. You know I can't do accents, mate.
I know you went like Italian Godfather.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding with Popeyes?
Popeyes.
Popeyes.
Oh, you know.
Fitting everywhere.
Okay. Do you want to get into the movie notes?
There's one more.
Yeah.
Right. And it's kind of, by the way, spoiler alert. But I don't know
by
whether
the
to
way,
mention it now or when we get to it in the film. But there's one little gaping question that even on my second watch, I couldn't seem to find what the fuck it was about.
Yeah.
But when they go to Lake Como,
Yeah.
why is Charles meeting with Susie? Never explained.
It's his ex.
I know it's his ex, but
I think the whole premise of that is to keep you guessing who the killer is.
no, I get that. I get what they were doing because at that point they're thinking that it's one of them two or them two together.
Yeah.
But when you find out,
We'll talk about that later.
yeah, okay, we'll talk about that later. Yeah, because otherwise we'll give it away. But I suppose you could just go and watch the film. Yeah. Anyway,
Spoiler warning, by the way.
yeah. So
Starts
film
off.
opens up. We're in New York, outside a police station. A skank walks over and goes, "Hey,
Hey!
hey,
Hey, I'm
hey,
walking. What you
hey,
doing?
I'm walking here." So we know straight away we're in New York.
Yeah.
Do you know what that's actually from?
What?
That line.
No.
It's from what's that fucking guy called out of Rain Man? Not Tom Cruise, the other one.
Oh.
It's from a film that Dustin Hoffman.
Does
It's from a film he did. And I think during the film he was crossing the road and he was in New York and a car nearly ran into him. I think he was kind of unscripted or whatever. A car nearly ran into him. "Hey, I'm walking here." I think that's where it comes from. What film was it? I think it was like Midnight Cowboy or something like that. It was something like that anyway.
And it's just stuck.
And it just stuck, yeah. And then it's just become a typical New Yorker. "Hey, I'm walking here." I'm going to Google it. Hey.
Yeah, 'cause New Yorkers don't like that, do they?
No.
Okay, the movie starts, as
Yep.
Eric said. Nick
Yeah, Midnight
is
Cowboy.
walking down the police station.
Midnight Cowboy is from, yeah.
Oh, I've never
Hey,
seen
I'm
it.
walking here.
Never seen it.
I've not.
And they're talking, aren't they, about he's failing his detective exam for the third time.
Yes. So that's nice of them to give us a bit of an info dump there.
Yeah.
What is with his partner? He's one weird looking motherfucker, him.
He's a little bit. It reminds me of a bit of a Play-Doh or something.
He does. Who is he? Because
Don't
he's
know.
kind of like,
You don't need casting.
I've not done the casting yet.
Oh, I'll skip it over. No one important.
Shit, that's a good point. We kind of skipped over it when you mentioned fucking Sandler's wife. I didn't do any of the casting.
Did you?
No.
Oh, go on then. Who's the
Okay.
main people?
Okay. So the cast. So we got Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston as Nick and Audrey Spitz, which is the most random fucking surname I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
We got Terrence Stamp as Malcolm Quince. We got Gemma Arterton, a bit of a hottie. Hot Babe Award, maybe.
Maybe.
As Grace Ballard. We got randomly David Walliams turns up in this as Toby Quince.
I
We
quite
got
like him in it.
Danny Boone as Frenchie, or also known as Inspector Delacroix.
Ilacos.
Delacroix. We got John Canny as Colonel Olenga.
Mm.
We got Adil Akhtar as the Maharaja. Yeah, I'm not even going to pronounce Sergei's name. Sergei. you make me
What's
do
his
these
name?
everywhere. Okay, I'll try this. Olafur Darry Olofsson. Olafur Darry Olofsson as Sergei. Ding.
Who's Sergey?
The guy's bodyguard, Colonel's bodyguard.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, the Russian dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luis Gerardo Mendez as Juan Carlos Riviera.
Yeah, he's good.
And Shol Kutusuma as
General.
Susie Nakamura.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I go fast. Oh, yes.
Go fast.
Go fast, yes.
Yes. Yes. That's Pascal.
I win. Yes.
His quality.
Anyway, where were we? Yeah, so we open up and we're in New York.
And Nick actually tells his friend, don't tell Audrey or his wife about the results of these detectives.
Yeah, and then we find out that his mate's wife already knows. So she's like, I can't tell her to fucking lie to Audrey again. She's already done it 3 times now. I mean, how long, right, has Audrey been thinking this motherfucker's a detective for? If he's failed it 3 times and he has to wait 6 months between each test.
Oh, that's a good point, that.
So has he been lying to her for like a year and a half at this point about being a detective?
Most likely, yeah, because I thought it was only on the 3rd time. But he's probably not told her from the start, has he?
No.
Oh, that would make
I
more
wonder
sense.
if that is the case, but yeah. And then we get the first sponsor alert, don't we, where Audrey texts Nick asking him to pick up some Claritin for some reason, because that's just random as fuck.
True.
Yeah, but
True.
He probably sat there. I can see Sandler thinking, right, so opening scene, we need to somehow get Claritin into this. How are we going to do that?
Text message.
Text message, yeah. Okay, now.
And then Audrey's at work, working as a hairdresser, and all they pretty much do is slag the partners off.
Basically,
And Audrey
yeah.
goes on about a 15-year wedding anniversary is coming up, and she wants to go to the Europe trip, which Nick promised her 15 years ago.
I mean, why doesn't this bitch get off her ass and just book some fucking plane tickets herself? What's she waiting for him for?
Oh, God knows. How much is slagging the partners off?
Oh, massively,
Every single
mate.
one of them.
Massively. Even talking about like the way they send them when they want to have sex. The husbands apparently just send them emojis with like the eggplant and all that shit. And it's just like,
And talking about, like, you can't put the dishes away unless the woman tells them and all that.
what do they expect us to do? I mean, I'm not here to put dishes away. If you want dishes put away, either ask me to put them away or do it your fucking self.
I was going to say something, but I can't. I'll get cancelled.
You might do. If you want to like pause a second and say it, and I'll cut it
No,
out
no,
if
it's
it's that
fine.
bad.
Don't
I
you
kind of
worry.
want
Don't you
to. I
worry.
kind of want to hear what you're saying now.
So, next scene.
One
Nick
second.
gets
One second.
A few minutes later.
Yeah, you can't fucking say that on video, mate. Fucking hell. I've just had to cut all that out. Jesus Christ. The mouth on this guy. Jesus. Well, what were you saying? I've lost a bit of respect for you now. Come
You son of a bitch.
on.
I like it, though. I like it. The work of editing. So we're on to the next scene now, and Nick gets a card from a 7-Eleven and catches some kid trying to shoplift. He walks over to the kid and he says to him, are you going to tell them what you're stealing? KY jelly, a bottle of chloroform, and a 12-inch dildo.
No, imagine. How did they... Hold on, what? I swear he had some monsters in the back.
Oh, and some monsters as well.
Okay. What was that kid planning?
Don't know. Some rope in there as well, I think.
Are you sure this isn't your shopping list? Because I don't remember the kid having that in his bag. I mean, this
Yeah.
kid was like 10.
Yeah, he was shoplifted. And the little shit he turns around, like say, looks about 12. Threatens to do him in.
No, he has. I've got it here. Monster Energy and some Cheetos.
Yeah.
The fuck are you on about? Fucking dildos.
That's the rest of it.
Okay.
KY jelly and chloroform.
Kids get a bit rapey,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Sticks a wig on, mate. Drops a bit of chloroform in someone's drink. Next minute, John Rambo turns up. Hey.
What? Are you okay?
Yeah.
First you drop all that shit a minute ago that I've had to cut out. And now you're fucking
Come on.
talking about this. What's
Mate,
wrong with you?
I can't
Sick
wait to do
bastard.
I can't wait to do Rambo, mate. Have you seen the permit he's got?
Mate, is Rambo on the list?
Yeah.
Which one?
Rambo 3.
He made 3 of them. I'll be honest.
There's about 7.
I've barely seen the first one.
There's one that came out about 3 years ago. The guy is about 75, and he's going off killing like a militia in Thailand or something.
I've seen that one. It was a bit more than 3 years ago. Is that the one where he literally, for half an hour of the film, stands on a boat just killing Vietnamese people? He just goes into a village and just
Ethnic cleanses.
But like, you literally, people are just going. Well, I can remember they're going about their day, just randomly, enjoying life, and he's just gone a bit mental.
I just
And starts
remember,
having flashbacks.
I remember him charging down a hill, and he's like just mowing him down for no reason.
Yeah.
It's like fuck face.
I'm surprised he didn't do what they did on Hot Shots, where they put like a kill counter in the corner.
God, I love that film. That's one of my favourite films.
Hot Shots Part Deuce.
Yeah.
The first one.
Second one.
I love the first one when he goes, "I got my father's eyes." He's literally got his eyes in a fucking glasses case.
But the thing is, like, say, I love on Hot Shots is when they're all on the boat and those teammates do like little dives off, don't they? Like Olympic dives, like do little scoring. And then it's just him on his own. The boat is sinking. It's just on the end of the boat and it's like covered up to his neck, like bullets. Discharges.
Oh, it's funny, that film.
I love it.
Oh, I need to
Absolutely love
watch
it.
that again. It's been years since I've seen that film.
Oh, I definitely need to watch this.
Uh,
Then at the meal,
that hairdressers that she works at. I don't frequent hairdressers, but it looked nice. That I did read something though. The woman who Jennifer Aniston's doing the hair of is her best friend in real life.
what was it?
Yeah, and she was apparently like the maid of honor at her and Brad Pitt's wedding and shit.
That didn't work out well, did it?
It did not. No, it would.
Yeah. But anyway, enough about Aniston.
If you
and
had to
Pitt.
choose Aniston though, and the other one, what's her name? The freaky one, Tomb Raider, Angelina Jolie. The one he
Jolie.
left her for. She seems proper intense, her, but I reckon she'd be fucking amazing in bed.
See, the thing is, back in the day, when Tomb Raider came out,
Yeah,
I'd probably say Jolie, but just for, like, say, a bit of fun. If I was to marry one of them, it'd be Aniston.
oh yeah, of course, yeah, she's definitely wife material, 100%.
But then, like, say, if is it too much wife material where they don't actually give it up, and that's where Jolie came use?
Obviously, I don't know these people, right? But Angelina Jolie gives off the vibe to me that Brad Pitt probably didn't have any choice in the fucking matter. I think she's the type of bird where if she chooses you, you're hers. You're hers. You don't fucking get a choice in the matter. It's like when she goes to Africa to pick kids. It's like, you're mine now. You're coming home with me. I think it was the same with Brad Pitt. And he's like, but I'm married, you know, my wife. And she's like, don't give a fuck. You're mine now.
Did you hear the stories about her and Billy Bob Thornton together?
Yeah.
Like, drinking each other's blood and stuff?
Yeah, they had like vials of blood and shit like that of each other. Like, that was a creepy ass marriage. That must have been, they must have had some steamy fucking sex, though. They're both freaks.
I reckon she pissed all over him.
Probably.
You
I
can
reckon-
tell she's like one of them.
Yeah.
It's like no BM, what is it? BMD?
BS.
Bondage and shit, anyway,
Yeah,
whatever it is.
bondage and masochism and all that shit.
Yeah.
BDSM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was tied up on the floor, getting pissed on his face and kicked in the bollocks.
I reckon they literally, probably at some point, had Play-Doh sessions with their own shit.
Yeah, I won't put it past her.
I'm
And that's
sorry,
why
this is just
she
got
looks the
really
way she does
creepy.
now, mate. She's got hepatitis.
Has she got hepatitis? It wouldn't surprise
Probably
me.
not, allegedly.
Allegedly.
So I don't think she has, like, but I
Well,
think
this
that's
is
Tom
all
Anderson.
allegedly. Obviously, I don't know what goes on in their bedroom. But like I say, the point of the matter was that I kind of get the impression that if she chooses you, You ain't got a choice in the matter.
Yeah, you're fucked. See, back in the day, she was hot.
She was hot.
Now she looks like fucking a coat hanger in a dress. Kidnapping kids.
That's one way to describe it. But I hear Brad Pitt's a bit of a bell end of a father, allegedly.
I mean, if somebody births a child, you want to look after it and stuff. But however, if your missus is going around getting new kids like fucking Gucci bags, you're fucked.
Yeah.
How are you meant to look after her tribes? Literally, she's got her own. There's just a tribe of them.
Think like to Brad Pitt, they're more like at this point pets than actual kids.
That's
like,
why she sees it, I think.
I'm allegedly
Like 15? There's 15 of them.
Is there that many?
I don't know. Probably.
I know, like she pretty much adopted a village because I think Madonna was up to it at one point, wasn't she? Wasn't it like a trend in Hollywood to go to Africa and like nick a kid or buy a kid?
Yeah, it's like one of them. Look at me, how good I am helping the
So
less fortunate.
The whole white savior in it, like when you used to see on Comic Relief, and he'd go over and he'd be like, "Oh, I spent 3 hours in this village helping people, and they've got no water and this shit." I'm like, well, I don't see you with your checkbook out. What are you, like a multi-millionaire?
Oh yeah, but the quick to beg for the common people who are working.
Yeah, you want my £2 a month, but what about your millions?
Yeah, exactly. Right, let's get back to the film.
How did we even get onto this? Oh yeah, Angelina Jolie. Anyway,
we go off on like little tangents every so often, if you've not noticed.
Yeah, so we're at the meal, aren't we? And I love how his partner's wife constantly giving him shit.
What a bitch.
Mate, you would know. If I went on a meal with you and Leanne, right, and I knew you were lying about something, well, maybe not you and Leanne because we're bros, but if I knew, like, Leanne was lying about something, I would be like, this is a bad analogy because I don't think I'd do it to you. But, okay, if it was a work colleague's fucking...
I don't think you even do it, mate, because you're not a cunt.
No, I don't think I would, no.
That woman, right, she was a massive cunt.
Well, she kept on saying, well, you don't have to be a detective to know this.
Exactly. And when she goes, Nick says, "Oh no, call it a day or something," and she turns around and goes, "What? We're not having any more drinks, detective."
Yes, she's trying to rinse him for more fucking drinks. Yeah,
I put on my notes, right. Is this bitch forgetting that Nick is paying for the meal as well as drinks, and she is giving him shit?
I know. She is trying to rinse him though, but to be honest, like it's like a work colleague, innit? Like your husband's work colleague, but still, it's a bit of a dick move to do.
Especially when you're getting everything paid for.
The thing I don't get about this meal as well, right? Isn't it supposed to be Nick and Audrey's 15-year anniversary?
Yeah.
And is this their anniversary meal? Because if so,
I think so.
Why the hell have they brought them two fuckers along with them?
Just so his partner's missus can rinse him for more money.
It just don't make sense to me. Why would you bring them along on your anniversary? Because she even calls him on the Amazon gift card, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
well,
makes
that's what I was going to say
about it.
When he was picking up that gift card, we were talking about the kid, weren't we? That's what I was going to say as well. How did he know at that point with the kid that kid didn't come into the shop with that stuff in his bag like he brought it from home? Because he didn't see him rob it.
He's a good detective.
He's not. He's a guesser.
No, you've seen it off camera.
He couldn't have though, because he was literally he was stood at the kiosk reading cards.
All right, okay.
And the kid walked past him, and he just racially profiled the kid. Well, it wasn't racially because he just profiled the kid and just thought, you know what, I'm going to take a stab in the dark. But he opens the kid's bag as well. Like the kid could have just said, "Look, I'm a rapist because I've got a dildo, KY jelly, and some chloroform in my bag, and I need a snack for afterwards."
Bit of energy boost.
Yeah.
Right. The reason why Nick knew that the kid had all this stuff in his bag is because Sandler is a producer and part writer in it or whatever.
Oh, because he had read the script.
Yeah. So we know.
Oh, fair enough.
So that's how it happened. So then
After the
meal, Audrey is being an angry bitch for no reason, kicks off, not going to Europe. Nick pretends he's got a holiday to Europe booked already, and it was a surprise.
Well, yeah, because she literally spent the day at work being told how much of a bellend Nick is because he's not put his hand in his pocket.
Yeah.
Right. So how much of a bitch must Audrey be that this guy goes to work as a cop every fucking day in New York where, I imagine being a cop is quite dangerous in New York. I mean, the guys literally have to carry guns and shit. So he goes to work every day. He slaves away at work. He has to lie to his missus to pretend that he's a fucking detective.
Yeah.
So that's a big red flag. Not on his part, but more on her part in my eyes, because the fact that he feels he has to lie to her to say, like, you know, look how well I'm doing. She must put him down so fucking much. He turned around one and he said, I'm a detective, all right? Because, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm getting at? So, but it's kind of spun as if it's like, oh, he's lying to her because he's a dick and so on. It's not. It's because she must belittle him so much that he feels he has to lie to her
100%.
to kind of big himself up.
Yeah.
And pretend to be a fucking detective. Now, not only this, now she's giving him shit that he's not bought a ticket to Europe that he promised her 15 years ago when she was probably a lot fucking hotter and he was trying to get into her pants. And at that point, I would have, back then, 15 years ago, Jennifer Aniston, I'd have been like, I will fucking take you to the moon if you will suck my dick. I would write on a postcard with a picture of the moon, one day, Erik, there you go, Jennifer Aniston, now nibble on these nuts. Wouldn't you, though?
Yeah.
And the thing, right, the biggest fucking thing with this whole film, 15 years ago, Jennifer Aniston would never have gone with Adam Sandler.
No,
There's
she's
no
well out of his
way.
league.
No. And that's only 15 years married, so they were obviously seeing each other before then. So let's call it 20 years ago. Jennifer Aniston, 20 years ago. I mean, she's still fucking gorgeous now.
That she is.
But
Really
like,
hot.
but the point I'm getting at is like she's giving him shit about something he said 15 fucking years ago that they were going to take him to Europe. I mean, you've got a bank account, love. You've obviously got a fucking passport. Book your own fucking ticket. Why haven't you surprised him with Europe?
See, the thing is as well.
Sorry, I just had to say that.
Sorry, your missus, does she know how much you get paid per month?
Yes.
My missus knows how much I get paid per month. So if I got a big, like, pay advance or increase or whatever, right, I'm sure his missus would know after being married for 15 years how much is in your bank account, etc.
Yeah.
So then how has he been wingling it, saying he's been getting paid extra for like 3 years or so?
That is a good fucking point.
And then, top it off, they're married, right? Everything should be 50-50. Why is she expecting him to fork out the full price for the tickets to go to Europe from America? I don't think it's going to be cheap, that, for two people for 2 weeks or whatever.
No. Is it fucking balls? I mean, literally last minute as well. Because I'm pretty sure it's literally that next day that they leave.
Pretty much.
Because, and what is the Americans' obsession with Europe?
It's like us going to America, though, isn't it, to be fair?
I don't have an obsession with going to fucking America.
A lot of people do, don't they? They want to tour America and stuff.
I'd rather just see fucking pictures of it.
Yeah.
No offense, Americans, but your country's a mess. And
politics right now, is right out the window, isn't it? But anyway, that's another matter. The next scene, we see Nick and Audrey getting onto the plane. And it's a little bit awkward, isn't it, when they're getting on this plane as well? Because the very hot flight attendant, which is Adam Sandler's wife
in real life,
is then getting on the plane, acting with somebody who's a lot hotter than her as his on-screen wife.
I don't know, I was going to say, wouldn't you go for Sandler's wife? But I suppose if you had the choice between her and Aniston, got to be Aniston on it.
It's got to be.
Yeah,
it's got to be. I mean,
ignore me.
There's no reason for her to be in this anyway, let's be honest.
Not really. But
she was dead awkward as well. She was dead awkward when she was doing it.
Well, wouldn't you be? Like, imagine having that conversation. Oh, I'm doing another film. Oh, who you casting this time? Because obviously you had that bit bird in that other film with Aniston and shit like that. So who are you going to be making out this time? Well, I'm going to do it with Jennifer again. Again. All right, but I want to be the flight attendant and I want this to be the credit. I want to be credited as a super hot fucking flight attendant, or whatever it is that she's credited as. I mean,
but I think you're probably onto something there, mate.
I think that's probably what's happened, because
he would have been sleeping in the spare bedroom for 6 months.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to be fair though, did they actually like kiss or anything in it?
No, they don't.
They don't.
I mean,
not that I noticed.
Would you blame him? Because his real wife is on set, literally peering at him from behind the camera for every single scene.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. Imagine if, like, I'm there on film set, nogging over birds, and Hannah was just kind of just watching, like...
I can't really do anything because, the other half's over there.
I don't know why, but I pictured in my head then Hannah stood on the sidelines, a rolling pin, Just kind of tapping. I don't know why a rolling pin. Just tapping her hands like that.
I'm going to beat the shit out of you later.
You better not have enjoyed that.
Definitely.
Jesus.
Oh. The next scene now, we've got Nick trying to get some sleep, and Audrey asks for some earbuds. And it's like $9 or something. Yeah, something stupid amount.
Is that because he's snoring? Because at first I thought she
Yeah.
meant headphones, but then I realised because he's asleep next to her.
Yeah, because he's snoring quite loud, isn't he?
Yeah.
So then she goes off, and the first guy she comes across, she gets a bit wet for, starts flirting with him, and it's Charles, who's a multimillionaire. And the first question Charles asks Audrey is about the relationship, obviously what they're doing, where they're going, etc. And Audrey's reaction is tells him and Nick's dead.
Yeah, she goes, "Oh yeah, I'm here. I've got a husband, but he's dead, dead asleep."
That says it all.
But she goes mooching, doesn't she, in first class?
Straight away, as soon as he's asleep, she's like, "I'm off."
Yeah, she goes looking for earbuds in first class, doesn't she? But the other thing as well, right? So she meets this Charles Cavendish, who's this suave Englishman, a Viscount. You later find out, whatever fucking one of them is. Every time I think of Viscount, I just think of them. Do you remember the biscuits as a kid? I think they got rebranded at one point, but they used to be called Viscounts, and they were like a mint chocolate biscuit. They were like in a green wrapper. Back in the day, they used to be called Viscounts. I'm not sure what they're called nowadays.
Don't remember them as a biscuit.
You know?
No.
I remember a Viscount biscuit.
No.
Anyway, they used to have Viscount biscuits anyway, so every time I hear the word Viscount, I think of a biscuit. Anyway, so this guy turns out to be a Viscount. How many times is that now? About 6 times I've said Viscount.
At least.
7. And then, they start getting all flirty, don't they? But what I want to know is, so the flight attendant comes over and goes, "Excuse me, miss, you're not supposed to be in first class. I know you look like Jennifer Aniston and you're probably a millionaire in real life, but you're currently in this film shagging my husband, so you need to get the fuck out of first class, you skank."
Cock block.
Yeah. And then all he does is he looks at her and goes, "Charles Cavendish." He goes, "Oh, right, okay, yeah, say no more." And walks off. And I'm like,
just to say, I'm Mr. Big Bollocks. This is how rich my family are.
imagine just being able to say your full name to anyone and then all of a sudden they just walk up. I'd have been like, I don't give a fuck. Don't full name me, dickhead. She doesn't have a fucking ticket. She's not supposed to be in here. Get her the fuck out of here. Because at first I thought, what does he now? Does he own the airline or something? Or
just mega rich, I think, mate, to be honest with you.
I know, but it's like, surely, if she knew automatically who the fuck he was just by saying Charles Cavendish, surely she should recognise him. I mean, there's only like 2 people in fucking first class anyway, and she was checking the fuckers in.
Good point.
So why does he have to full name her?
Just saying big bollocks.
Just fucking weird.
Yeah. Then Charles turns around and says to Audrey, "Do you and your husband have any plans?"
Yeah.
And he says, "We have a swingers party planned if you want to join on a boat."
Guess bad too.
Pretty much was, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Because he's telling her about his ex-fiance running off with his like 80-year-old fucking 70 billion in the
Come
bank.
on.
Fucking.
The thing is with all this, right, which I call like a bit of
Bullshit!
right, is doesn't matter how rich you are and stuff. Why would you go and tell a stranger how rich your uncle is?
If you knew a billionaire, wouldn't you be telling everyone you know a billionaire?
No.
So if you knew like Jeff Bezos, for
If I was
instance,
best mates with Elon Musk, right, I wouldn't go around telling everybody. I'd
No,
meet to
but-
go, "Do you know what? My best mate is Elon Musk."
if your uncle was Jeff Bezos, I bet everyone would know. It would be literally the first thing you'd say to people is, "My name's Darren," followed by, "My uncle is Jeff Bezos,
No.
and I'm in his will."
No.
I would.
Why?
Status, mate.
It's not something to go brag about how rich somebody is more than you.
Of course it is.
Dick.
Of course it
Is
is.
it ick?
When you reach billionaire status, if there's someone who's a billionaire in your family, you're telling everyone.
But that's your family. It's not you, is it? It's not affecting you on a day-to-day basis. When you go down to the shops and you've got, say, £25 in your bank account, you can't turn around and go, "Jeff Bezos is my uncle."
Okay, to be fair to him, he never mentions that his uncle's a billionaire. All he says is that Susie, his ex-fiancée, has run off with his uncle Malcolm Quince. And
Yeah.
she goes, Quince, the billionaire Malcolm Quince. And he goes, yes, $70 billion will fucking tempt the little skank like Susie over for that them old grapes.
Nah.
It was something like that anyway. But
No,
I like Charles Campbell. You leave him alone. He's a nice man.
So Nick comes up now to first class and sees Audrey's dripping wet. Literally, she sat there like a broken refrigerator. And Charles flirting.
Hey, she's leaning over the bar and you can just hear the drip.
There's a puddle.
Yes.
I seen the flight attendant in the background, mate, mopping up.
Yeah, she was. And then he tries to sneak through and she's like, excuse me, I'm mopping here. Hey, I'm mopping here.
Yeah. And why would you go? Right, if you was in that situation, right, so you're in an aeroplane, you've gone to sleep, your missus has gone to first class,
Yeah.
starts like making a bloody slip, trip, and a hazard on the floor,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And then you go in.
You wake up and you follow a snail trail to first class and you're like,
Pretty much.
what's this?
Slipping everywhere.
Sounds a bit like my wife. Better follow this. you see your actual real life in real life mopping up.
Yeah, there's wet floor signs.
Yeah, all the way along.
The health and safety. And then, so you've gone in there, you see her talking to somebody who's very rich,
Yes.
and he talks very, very posh.
Yes.
And he turns around and says, I've got an all-inclusive flight for you on a private trip on a boat. We're going to go across Europe or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. We're going
Would
to
you go?
Monaco. Yeah. Yeah, of course I'm fucking would.
Why?
What do you mean, why? Because even Nick says to him, you know, how basically like it's indecent proposal. How much are you going to give me to bang my wife?
Exactly. That's the first thing that came across my mind.
Yeah, to be honest, I would be a bit miffed, and I would be, to be honest, I would probably feel the same way. I'd be like, dude, I don't know this guy, and he's clearly, up until now, I was kind of just watching it, and he's trying to pull you. And the bird would do the usual thing. Oh, no, he's just being friendly. He's like, he's fucking not.
Mm.
He's not. The only reason he's talking to you is because you look like that.
Yes.
And I'm just for people on Spotify, I'm pointing at the picture of Jennifer Aniston. But yeah, I love that how
nice.
he goes. So you must be the husband, and he goes, yes. Sometimes I'm the king, sometimes I'm daddy.
Just a few little one-liners, weren't there?
So how much are we talking to have sex with my wife? I love it when he takes him into the toilet though.
He's like starts doing his pants.
Yeah, and when she has a dig and says, he says, I've got detective instincts. This guy's a nut, and she goes, "What, the same instincts that thought you were about to get laid in this toilet?" I mean, not being funny. If my missus dragged me into the toilet on a plane, I'd be thinking, well, especially if she was that wet. I mean, I probably wouldn't even feel it go in if she was that wet.
So they land now in Spain, don't they? And they see a family of Clampets getting on a bus.
Oh, they see the bus that they're supposed to be going on.
Oh my God, that just looks chaos, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
It really does. So everybody's just screaming and shouting. You've got kids running around everywhere. And instead of getting on a bus, they turn around, get in the car with Charles instead, who happens to be stood next to his car, just waiting.
Yeah, almost like they're going to turn up. They're not going to turn this down. They just need a bit of time to think about it. But no, definitely. To be honest, I would have done exactly the same as Nick up until that point when I seen that bus and I thought, I'm not going to be smelling them horrible, stinky people when I could just look over there and I see Charles Cavendish stood next to his convertible Rolls Royce, whoever it was, just chilling. I'd have been like, yeah, I'm going that motherfucker.
That's it. He's got his arms folded, just leaning against the car. It's like,
at that point, I'd be like, fuck my wife, fuck me, whatever. Just get me on that yacht. Get me away from that fucking bus. The bus was literally like yellow.
Yeah, no air conditioning on that.
No. I mean, what do you expect, though, when you literally have one day to book a whole trip to fucking Europe?
True.
Because it must literally be the next day.
It did seem like it, didn't it?
It did. It literally, he said to her that night, I booked you a trip to Europe for anniversary. I wasn't going to tell you till tomorrow. And then they're at the airport.
What would happen, though, in the circumstances where she couldn't get a holiday off?
Exactly.
Couldn't get time off work?
Yeah.
So imagine being the boss is like, what? Do you mean you're going away tomorrow?
I know.
You're sacked.
And it's... and him as well. He's a fucking copper.
Yeah.
Surely they can't just fucking disappear for 2 weeks.
No, it's got to be a bit of time, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Between, it's got to be.
Oh,
They did
mate,
make it seem
you know when
like
they
the next
arrive
day.
at the yacht?
Yeah.
Why is it? I don't know if it's like in every well, I've never been on a yacht to this caliber. You know, I'm not that rich. It may shock people listening out there, but I'm not a rich man.
No.
Not yacht round the Mediterranean rich, anyway.
We're rich inside.
If you were that rich, though, would you? Well, we're rich inside. Like, I'm fucking poor inside, outside, and fucking over there. Anyway, if you were a...
Why do you think we do the podcast?
I know, yeah, we don't do this for the good of our health. We need money, people. I forgot what I was saying now.
Sorry.
If you were that rich, if you were like billionaire rich and stuff, or even a couple, let's say you had 200 million, would you buy a yacht like that?
No.
Would you not?
Too much expenses.
I mean, I know, it's because not only have you got to pay for that fucking yacht, you've also got to staff the fucking thing.
Yeah. Because the thing is, what a lot of people don't take into consideration, you think, right, it's £30 million for a yacht. That's it, done. You're paying probably about 125 grand of wages per year.
Plus, as well, like, you've got to store the fucking thing.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So I reckon them, like, you see them ships and stuff. Have you ever been to Monaco? And you see all the massive yachts in the harbour and stuff like that.
I know what you're on about.
Imagine it's not cheap to fucking store a yacht in Monaco.
No.
Or even in Spain, or even in any harbour in the Mediterranean. I imagine it's going to cost a pretty penny, especially with a yacht that size.
I'd never buy one personally.
No.
No.
I'd
hire one.
Yeah, I was literally about to say that. I'd hire one. Because I had this conversation with Han the other night, and I said, you know, if you were that rich, would you buy a yacht? And she was like, even if I was a billionaire, I wouldn't buy one because I wouldn't get that much use out of it to justify it.
No.
Because imagine, right? Because you'd have to use it all year round to justify the staff. Otherwise, you're just paying people to live on your yacht. Because if you didn't use it all the time, it's not like you could just come along and just say, I want to hire you lot for a week to staff my yacht. Because you're just going to get shit people then, aren't you? Anyway, enough about yacht politics. The reason I mentioned it is because when they arrive at the yacht, what is it with the staff when they're getting them out? And then they just stand there still. Are they not allowed to move? The rich people don't like poor people moving. Is this what it's about? Because they literally, it's like, welcome, open the car door. Now stand as still as you can.
I didn't notice, to be honest.
And then as they're getting onto the boat, there's like a couple of people there welcoming them on, and they don't welcome them on or anything like that. They're just, it's like, if you're just going to stand there still and do nothing, why are you there? Why am I paying you to fucking stand there and do nothing? Literally stand still. And if they move, did he get fired? Is it like a rule? What's the rules? Someone tell me. What's the rules? Do you know? Because I don't know.
Written warning.
Do you reckon you get a written warning?
I don't know. I don't know about HR and politics on bloody
I think
boats.
it's like that Squid Game thing, like red light, blue light, or whatever it is. I think like there's a gun on them, and if they move, like they're just gonna get shot.
Shot with a bag of money.
That wouldn't be too bad, to be fair. Yeah.
I got dollar bill in my nose.
Next time we'll use coins.
Shooting dimes.
But no, I was wondering why they all just fucking stand there still.
I didn't notice, to be honest.
But
I really didn't.
The next little bit I like is when they walk up the gangplank, whoever it is, and for some reason they've got towels and they're kind of washing their hands for some reason. Anyway, they walk up and then they see Charles talking to Susie, and then Jennifer Aniston, Audrey, whoever her name is, walk over and starts do that thing that they do in films when they're talking about someone when they're literally there.
Yeah.
But they add a bit of realism, and Sandler goes, yeah, she's right there. She can't fucking hear you. This isn't one of your TV programs.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, she's so beautiful. She's like that beautiful person when you can't really tell where they're from. She turns around and go, I'm from Japan.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
I
thought that was funny.
It was a generally real life version of Game of Cluedo now, wasn't it? Because we get introduced to each of the suspects one at a time. We get Susie the gold digger.
Yep.
Toby the posh son.
Oh,
to
David
the
Walliams.
rich uncle.
Fucking hell.
I liked him in this.
David Walliams. And he comes down like,
he played it well.
Well, I like it when he goes, Charles goes, I'm sure we can spare a cabin for them. And he goes, oh, we'll see as you go back 6 hours. Yes, maybe we can. Go so far back. When did you actually meet these people?
I did put actually a little creepy guy as well.
Who's the creepy guy?
David Williams.
Oh,
they're
I wouldn't
creepy.
call him little.
Oh, Little Britain.
Oh.
Then we've got Grace who turns up out of nowhere. Nick introduces Audrey to Alison and gets over the top excited.
Grace is fit.
She was pretty nice.
Alison. He calls his wife the wrong name.
Yeah, Alison. Introduces her as Alison.
Yeah. He goes, "This is my wife, Alison," and she's like, "What?"
No. That's a character that Grace plays.
Yeah. Hey, Jenna, what's her name? Gemma Arterton?
Gemma Atkinson.
Is it Atkinson?
I think it is.
Arterton.
Atkinson.
Gemma Arterton.
Ah.
It.
Then we get the crazy Colonel, Charles Ulenga.
Is it me, or did he look like fucking all in the hips? It's all in the hips, especially with the hand. Is it Chubbs?
Yeah, it was him.
How happy? It wasn't actually him because he was played by Carl Weathers.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. It wasn't the same
The one
guy.
from Rocky?
Yeah.
Was that him?
All in the hips guy was Carl Weathers. Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm absolutely sure. Yeah.
How is it gone from all in the hips to smashing heads with Rocky Balboa built like a brick shit house?
Well, he did the Rocky bit first.
Oh, was Rocky? Oh, yeah, Rocky was before it, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think he did that later. I'm pretty sure it was. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure it was Carl Weathers.
I think Rocky's a lot
he
older than what we think.
Yeah, because he died recently, Carl Weathers. And Carl Weathers, Chubbs. It's all in the hips. But he did that hand thing. You know, you heard OJ's died recently.
O.J. Simpson?
Yeah, he died like 2 days ago.
Was it?
Yeah.
How?
Heart attack. No, cancer. Cancer, sorry.
Oh, so he didn't get stabbed in his house by his ex with a glove.
How do you stab someone with a glove?
I don't know. It's the whole case, wasn't it? He had there was one glove or some shit that they found on the murder scene when he killed his wife, allegedly.
I don't think they were killed with the glove.
No, probably not. I mean, stabbed, and then there was a glove there, not stabbed with the glove.
Yeah, but if the glove don't fit, you must have quit.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe you think the glove just came to seek revenge?
Was it something to do with a glove or something?
Yeah. There was a whole thing with a glove. A glove was found at the scene, a bloody glove. And when they came to put the glove on at the trial, it didn't fit. But they were like, "It was a favour, OJ. Shove that glove on. If it does fit, you're going to jail. Of course you're gonna go like this. Oh no, it don't fucking fit. Even if it was like the size of this, I'd be like, oh no, I can't even get it on this fucking finger. I can't do it."
I did just something about a glove.
Yeah. Of course you're not going to fucking put the glove on. Are you mad? And he stands there and then Johnny Cochran stands up or something. I don't know how I'm getting any of this right.
Anyway.
He goes, "If the glove don't fit, you must have quit." Anyway, yeah, so he's dead.
Yeah.
Cancer.
So, something else to do with a hand, with a glove.
Yeah, so
the hand pops off.
Yeah.
Colonel.
What I don't get as well is he takes his hand off, gives it to Sergei, his bodyguard, to put
Puts
a cigar in
it.
and give it him back. And it's like, would he not have just gone, like, put his hand up and placed it in between? Why does he have to? I know it's just a show
to his bodyguard.
And do we ever find out whether he had his dick shot?
I was about to say that next.
Was you?
Yeah, because Nick is obsessed with his cock being shot off.
Well, wouldn't you be? That'd be something like I'd be like, yeah, he got his cock shot off him.
And then we get to introduce Vic.
Which one's Vic? The Maharaja.
Maharaja.
The Maharaja.
Yeah, from India, who likes to bow a lot. But turns out is a London ghetto and a little bit of a Ali G from Wish.
What the fuck is it? A Maharaja?
God knows. But that guy was Ali G from Wish.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. He's really annoying.
Yeah, the white guy, the Indian guy bows and the white guy bows. Oh, yeah, in it.
Oh, man, you're like a cop.
Rude boy,
like copying
rude boy.
It's like a copying it from New York, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like wet anybody off.
Oh, you ever killed someone, eh? I do like him a bit later on, though, when like he meets him again like 5 minutes later, and he's like, "This is Steve and Mrs. Steve." And he's like, "Yeah, we met like 2 minutes ago."
Yeah, I was about to move on to that bit now. So later on in the evening, going for a meal, and they get introduced to some F1 driver that can't speak English. Yes, number one, very fast.
yes, very fast. Yes,
very fast.
I've had people like that in my life before. I'm by trade, I'm a recruitment consultant. I used to have people come. I used to do industrial recruitment. I used to have people come in to register for work, and like the very basic thing, they had to speak English, and they'd sit down and they'd go,
say yes.
Yes, I'd like a job, and they'd be like, "Okay, no worries. So, what's your previous experience?" Yes. And they'd be like, "Have you worked in a food factory before?" Yes. And it's like, "You don't speak English, do you?" Yes. They'd be like, "Do us a favour, stand up and just walk over there." Yes. Very fast.
I've had that in the past when I was
Oh,
doing recruitment as well.
Fucking stupid.
Can't speak a word of English now.
No.
You're saying like basic stuff like, yes. Anyways, back to
We're
the
going
film.
on a lot of tangents today, aren't we?
We really are, you know. We've probably done about 25 minutes of tangents.
I think it's just because of the lack of content in this film, to be fair.
We've got to make our own content today.
We have, yeah. So
We
we
really
need
do.
to, yeah.
The
Anyway.
old rich uncle turns up and the real game of Cluedo begins.
Yes.
When Uncle was doing his speech, he goes around between everybody in attendance and gives them all a little compliment, except his son. It's pretty funny, though, when he came to Nick and Audrey's like, who are you?
Yeah. Oh, mate. Because Malcolm arrives on his helicopter, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Randomly. I love how he walks into the room and the captain's there. Yeah. Coming down the stairs with his walking
Kane.
And he walks in and he goes, Captain Wong, would you mind fucking off? Basically what he says.
Yeah, clear the
Like,
room, he
leave
said.
us alone. But no, I do like that when he's going around the room and he goes, and Charles, I love your dick, and Gemma Arterton, you've got a nice pair of tits. And sorry, who the fuck are you guys? And they're like, you want us to leave? And he's like, nah,
Nah, just stay there.
you may as well just fucking stay here.
I mean, technically, you've just told the whole staff to clear the room, but then you're happy with these two strangers to sit there.
I know. What an absolute dick move, though. He goes round the room, he tells all his family about how much, like, what he likes about them.
Yeah.
And then he says, by the way, I'm cutting you out, me will, and I'm leaving everything to this bitch here. And just to rub it in your faces, I'm going to go and sign the will right now.
Yep. Right in front of you, and you are all leeches. Don't
Yeah.
deserve anything.
Yeah. He calls them all leeches, including, which I thought was a bit harsh, the Colonel guy, who literally saved his fucking wife. But not only did he save his wife, he found out later on that while the guy was in hospital from saving his wife, that Malcolm fucks his missus, marries her.
You got that wrong then.
What?
He saved his life,
What did I say?
his wife.
Oh, not only does he save his life, but then he fucks his fiancée. Well, his future wife. And he wakes up from like a 9-month coma or something.
You want to explain that bit?
Yeah.
Okay. So Malcolm, there was a bomb explosion. The Colonel
Yep.
saves Malcolm's life. And whilst the Colonel was in a coma, the Colonel's wife had an affair with Malcolm.
Yes. That's what I said.
It didn't.
That is
You
literally
was
what
like
I said.
literally going round the bush.
I may have gone round the world and come back a few times, but yeah, anyway, that's what I said. Anyway, but yeah, he calls him a leech. Yeah, he saved his life. The guy doesn't have a dick because of him.
True.
Yeah. But if you're worth 70 billion, you've just
Yep.
arrived onto your yacht, right, with all your family there, expecting a fucking handout when you die.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like 80 years old, you're on the death. Would you go and sign the will in front of them and expect to fucking walk out that room alive?
No, but I'm not a bellend.
No.
That's why.
Well, that's debatable. But seriously, though, you just wonder. You're just asking to be stabbed, especially. They bring a knife out as well, don't they?
What's the point of that knife?
I don't know. They bring
Generally.
out a knife that they keep in a case, and they open it up just for when he's arriving. And it's like, okay, so you bring in a weapon, literally the weapon that's going to kill you. You brought it with you. Fuck everyone off, and then walk over to sign your will in front of them. But you give them the weapon to kill you. This guy was asking to be killed.
There was no reason for that knife to be there.
No.
They just mentioned that the knife is like an old artifact. And then that is it, and they leave it out of the case.
I know.
Why?
There's no point to it.
It's silly. Really silly.
It is fucking stupid.
So then Grace goes out the room.
She storms off like a little brat.
Yep. Then the lights go out. Justice is about to sign it. And then the old codger is stabbed, and then a gun goes off.
Yeah.
Lights come back on. Everyone's like, oh, it's been stabbed, it's been killed.
I love the
And then
Colonel.
the Colonel has got a gun in his hand. They're like, you shot him. He goes, no, I shot at somebody. You stabbed him. Like, who shot him? I don't know. I didn't see.
Yeah, who stabbed him? I didn't see. But then the Colonel, he's like, and then that was it. And then Nick's like, has anyone like checked on him or anything? And he's like, and the Colonel goes over and pulls the knife out, and he's like, no, leave the knife. And he's like, oh, sorry, and puts the knife back in. I was actually in stitches of that.
I
bit.
was as well.
That was funny as fuck.
Especially when, like, say, the Colonel says, is he okay? It's like,
Yeah.
no, he's got a foot-long knife sticking out of his chest.
And then he's like, and then they all look to Nick, and he's like, "Oh, Nick's a detective. Nick's a detective. He'll know what to do." And he's like, "Well, for starters, let's stop inserting and reserting the knife, and maybe let's stop touching the body." And then all of a sudden, Gemma Arterton's character comes back in, Grace, and she's like, "Oh, I wonder if there's another copy of the will," and starts rooting through. And he's like, "Yeah, maybe not start looting the corpse. Does look a bit guilty."
Just a little bit.
And then he goes, "I suggest everyone go and lock themselves in the room because one of us is a murderer."
And walks off with a shrimp plate.
And then walks off with the massive shrimp, yeah.
Nick and Audrey start making plans about who the killer is.
Yeah.
And just to mention as well, Audrey is obsessed with
Murder
like crime
mysteries,
novels and stuff, isn't she?
Yeah, she's reading one on the plane because he makes a comment about the butler doing it. The butler does it. Butler always does it. I love that when she goes to him, she goes, "Oh, they're talking about who it could possibly be," and they're like, and Audrey goes, "Oh, that's too obvious," and he's like, "Literally, the most obvious person is always the person that does it." It's like if a wife gets killed, it's usually the husband that does it.
Yeah.
And it's like, she's like, "Why would you use that example?"
As he's trying to sleep and she's banging his head.
It's true though. Statistically, you're more likely to be, if you're going to be killed, you're more likely to be killed by someone you know.
Yeah, I've heard that stat as well.
Mm.
So Toby kills himself.
Got my eye on you, mate.
What?
Got my eye on you. I reckon if anyone in I know is likely to kill me, probably you.
Me?
Yeah.
Not what you say all the time to me. You always tell me bloody Hannah's threatening to kill you.
Oh no, Hannah's not got the balls to do it.
Ain't she got a chainsaw in the garden shed?
Well, now you're worrying me. You've got a chainsaw as well, though. You've literally just bought one.
I bought one for today to help you.
You and Hannah conspiring. I'm on to you both. If I don't turn up next week for this podcast and I turn up dead, then avenge me. It was him.
It's the Cheshire Chainsaw Massacre.
Ah. If they do make the film, promise me you'll do the podcast.
I will
prison.
do. I'll carry on.
Yeah.
But the only problem is my chainsaw's electric, so the battery might run out halfway through the massacre.
Well, I might still be able to do it, though. I just might be a bit harmless. I'll just be here next week like this. So, they tried.
Sorry. I would light a cigarette for you. Put it back into your fake hand.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, my cigar.
Yeah, it's back to the film anyway. We keep tangering over tonight.
We do.
Now, Toby kills himself, and the French detective turns up to interview everybody on the boat. Did you notice, like, during the interview, he was asking, did anyone touch the body? And the colonel was like, no.
Yeah, I did notice that. And he's like, no? Yeah. When they're interviewing one by one. Yeah.
And then
I
it
did
shows
that, yeah.
everybody at the same time, doesn't it? It said, did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Everybody goes, the Americans. F1 driver turns and goes, yes, number one, yes.
yes, number one. I didn't notice that, but I noticed they all blame the Americans. Because the copper decides that they did it without any evidence or anything.
The American.
Yeah.
I mean, what motive have they got? They got nothing to gain. Everybody else in there is getting a claim to the money.
Well, that's kind of what they say to him. So when it's their turn to be interviewed, and they're like, well, why would we do it? We've got nothing to gain. And they're like, well, maybe someone paid you. And it's like, oh, I'd love to see our bank. I'd love to show you our bank accounts because there's no money in there. We're flat broke. And they're like, okay, then motive then. And then Nick turns to Audrey and like, well, you shut the fuck up. You're literally giving him everything here. Yeah. Just saying nothing.
It's a shovel. Go dig yourself a hole.
It's like, oh, so you're desperate for money. To be honest, it does, in a way, make a little sense. You would kind of think maybe someone's paid them to come along and finish him off. Definitely. Because how else would you explain? So why are you on this yacht? No one knows you. You got what? You got invited by someone on a plane. You literally met him on a plane on the way over to Europe, and he invited you to a yacht for a will signing. Why would anyone do that? And he'd be like, well, I don't know. I assume he just wanted to piss his uncle off. So he had motive against his uncle. How much is he paying you to kill his uncle? And he'd be like, well, he's not paying me anything. You're doing it for free. He'd be like, no, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. It's
Putting
like,
words in the mouth for them, isn't it?
basically, yeah.
Yeah.
He does. But then he says about she says, "Oh, well, Nick's a detective in America," and he goes, "You know what? I will speak to you on your own, actually." And then Audrey goes away, and then he goes, "You're not a fucking detective, you lying little bastard, you porcupine telling fuckface."
He knew straight away.
Yeah, because he said, "Did you not think we wouldn't inquire about you, about who you were?" And we know but thing is, the way he kind of just plays it down, like, "Oh, you're just a fucking beat cop," when behind him is a bunch of fucking beat cops as well.
True.
Literally just stood there guarding, guarding them. they weren't gardening.
You say we're a wheelbarrow of
They weren't behind
extra
him,
men.
like pruning plants. Sorry, muddled up my words there. By the way, I'm not drunk this week.
Can you leave that rose plant alone?
Excuse me, officer. You do not touch that tree. Them lemons are not for you. But yeah, so he basically calls his bullshit and says, you know, I don't like liars. You're already lying. You're lying to your wife. You're lying to me. You're not a detective. So therefore, you must be a murderer.
Yeah.
It's like, okay then. But to be honest, I would know straight away that the Americans never did it. Mainly because he wasn't shot. Toby, on the other hand, Americans did that hands down.
Yeah.
I mean, Americans are renowned for shooting people.
They are.
Yeah.
But not in different countries, though.
Well,
You can't exactly carry a gun around everywhere, can you?
Well,
It's only in certain states.
well, he's a cop.
And now we're back in France, mainland, and we're at a racetrack, aren't we? Is it Monte Carlo, this one?
Yeah, they're in Monaco, yeah, so they're in Monte Carlo. I've been there.
Have you? Something nice.
Lovely. Absolutely stunning.
Expensive. Yeah.
Expensive as fuck. I mean, not the type of place where like you have like a little corner shop where you can just buy a burner phone off like a little shelf type place.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, just like that.
Like kind of like happens later on in the film, yeah. I don't remember seeing any of that. I remember seeing a lot of like high end kind of. Put it this way: we were walking through Monaco, and Hannah's shoe broke, and it was like, I wonder if I can just get another pair of like shoes from somewhere. And the cheapest pair of shoes we found was about 15 grand, and that was just for a pair of like slip-ons.
Jesus.
Yeah, and every car there was like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini,
Yeah.
and they were setting up for the Grand Prix as well, which was like a wet dream of mine.
Oh, when you was there?
Yeah, they were literally
nice.
setting up. The Grand Prix was the week after, so they had started putting out all like the banners and the grandstands and all stuff like that there. When I
You
was
like
there.
F1?
Eh?
You like F1?
No, but I like playing the games on the PlayStation and stuff, and I've raced that track on the PlayStation fucking millions of times over the years.
I don't know if you've been serious or not.
No, I'm being deadly serious.
You don't like watching it, but you like playing it?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I like F1. I don't follow it. My mum's a big fan of it. My mum loves Lewis Hamilton.
See, I couldn't justify the price of a ticket though. Sit there, and then there's no action going around, and you go.
My mum's been to Spa in Belgium, is it? A Belgium track. Spa. She's been there to watch the F1. But no, lovely place, very expensive. I mean, it's literally the playground for the rich.
Definitely.
I mean, we went to this little like cafe when we were there to get a drink, and like I think for a Coke it was about €10. I mean, stupid kids there, and like they must have been about 10, and they were like, you put like a sweater around you.
Oh yeah, one of them.
You tie it. The kid was literally sat there with that, with chinos on, like a pink shirt, fucking sweater tied around his neck. Like he was like 10 years old, and it's like that kid's probably got more money in his little playhouse bank account than I will ever earn in my life.
Crazy, isn't it?
It's mad. And I was sat there looking like a skank with my wife with a broken shoe. She literally at one point had no shoes on.
How do you half live?
I know. So yeah, that was fun times.
Right, back to the film again.
Anyway, where were we? So yeah, we're in Monaco at the Grand Prix.
Yeah, Audrey and Nick at the moment.
In fact, you know.
Sorry, interrupting me.
In fact, that reminds me. Do you know the restaurant we said we went to?
Yeah,
it looked very similar to where they were when they're going round. When they're there watching the F1 and they're like kind of walking around talking to people, asking them, who they think it is and so on. Like when they find out about the French inheritance law from
Yeah, because that's
that
the
guy.
part we're talking about now, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just going to shut up now
No,
and
carry on,
talk
go
about
on.
the film. But I think it looked very similar to the place we were at.
Yeah.
Like the furniture and stuff like that. It looked very similar. And the area you're in, Monaco. And Monaco's not a very big place. It's only a little principality on the south coast of France.
Oh, is it quite small, is it?
Yeah. Very, very small. Like a little town, but it's its own country.
Is it?
Yeah, Monaco's literally its own country inside France. Principality of Monaco.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a town or something inside France.
No, that's why it's so kind of. That's why the rich and famous go there. I think they can have their own tax laws and stuff like that. So, like when we were there, we had a look at apartments and stuff like that because a lot of the F1 drivers actually live in Monaco as well. But I think like the cheapest like 2-bedroom apartment there was like 15 million euros or something.
Jesus,
Fucking ridiculous.
crazy.
But yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
only small. But yeah, it's technically its own country.
Same as the Vatican as well, isn't it?
Yeah. I think the Vatican's obviously smaller. The Vatican's the smallest country in the world.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. So Nick and Audrey
yes.
start going through possible motives who have killed Malcolm.
Yes.
They speak to other suspects. Ali G tells them it was Carlos due to his dad having an accident when it was Malcolm's fault. And then everybody's pretty much blaming everybody, aren't they?
How was it Malcolm's fault that there was an accident?
He didn't really go into it, did it?
No.
He didn't really
Well-
go into the detail. Just said like it was a car accident.
Well, it's funny because the Maharaja, the little Ali G fella,
Mm.
because he's like, yeah, I'm like 90% sure it's this guy. I'm 100% sure it's this guy. But then it could be this guy. It could be Sergey. And he's like, so you're not sure that it's the other guy? Well, no, not really. But then we find out about the French inheritance law and the fact that Sergey's actually a millionaire. Or
Yes.
should be a millionaire.
Yeah.
So I don't get that. I understand like they kind of sneak that in just to kind of let us know in the story because it comes in a bit later on about French inheritance
Yeah,
law.
it does.
Right. But is Sergey a millionaire?
I believe so.
Then why is he protecting
Friends?
Captain Belland?
Just likes him.
I think they're in
I
a
think-
relationship together.
Probably not that far, no.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're in a sexual relationship because the Colonel doesn't have a dick.
No, I think they got like a good working relationship type thing.
Well, he kind of turns on him a bit later on, doesn't he? Kind of.
Yes, we'll come to that though later on. So back at the hotel room, a note gets slid underneath the door
Yeah.
of Nick and Audrey. And it's basically saying to them, go meet them in a certain room. So when they go to the room, the big Russian dude holding them at gunpoint, starts
Sergey.
telling them the story about the day the Colonel lost his eye and hand.
Yes. And about Malcolm running off with his fiancée. And when
Yeah.
by the time the Colonel woke up from his coma, he'd married his fiancée.
Yeah.
But not only married him, he'd had a baby and died during childbirth along with the baby.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
It was a bastard boy, wasn't it?
But to be fair, that was kind of like, well, we're finding this out now. So obviously that's going to come into it later on. I don't know about you, but that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I love as well is when the note gets slid under the door and Audrey's like, maybe we should fingerprint it. And it's like, all right, well, have you got your fingerprint kit, fingerprint kit, love? Because I've not got mine.
Oh, it's a typical thing like your missus was saying
Yeah,
it.
it
He's
definitely
like,
is.
Really?
Yeah. And compare it to what, love? Even if I had my fingerprint kit, what am I comparing it to?
What am I getting?
Why don't we just go to the room and find out who left the fucking note?
That's it. After speaking to the Russian dude, get a little bit of a knock on the door, so they hide inside the wardrobe.
Yep.
And then a silencer gets fired at the door, kills the Russian guy. Killer comes back, tries to get them inside. They freak out. The Russians blocking the door so nobody can get in. Nick and Audrey climb out the window, cross the balcony, and then they see the Colonel basically mouth raping himself with some floss.
Yeah. So that kind of exonerates the Colonel because
Yeah.
Sergei basically snitched on the Colonel. I think we left that bit out. But Sergei basically said,
Oh, so I thought you covered that bit already.
No. So Sergei basically says, one drunken night, apparently the colonel came to Sergei and said, if I wanted to kill Malcolm Quince, how would I do it? And he basically, apparently Sergei tells him to get a bunch of people together who all have motive to do it and then do it there. Kind of like what happened.
Exactly
like,
what happened.
Yeah. So we're like, well, oh, he must be the fucking colonel. That's why when they're sneaking out the room, and obviously Sergei's just been shot through the door, and they see the colonel, it's kind of like, oh, well, the colonel's there, so he's not just shot Sergei, so we still don't know who the fucking killer is. And then they end up in the Maharaja's room, climb under the bed, just as the Maharaja and Grace come into the room and start getting it on. And as I would probably do when I'm in bed with Gemma Artington, he comes quickly.
Bit of predetermined.
Yeah, he has a bit of a, yeah. Yeah, he decides he wants to just slow down a bit and just have a quick chat. And needs to just quickly nip into the bathroom to change his pants. How has he pulled her?
For alibi.
Well, yeah.
I was about to say lullaby then.
For a lullaby, yeah. He probably did
What
go
if a
sleep
lullaby?
afterwards. So Grace and the Maharaja come quick.
They go straight to the hotel bar for a drink. You see Frenchie. This one's quite funny, isn't the scene? So they see Frenchie on the TV, and they ask the waiter to translate, and the waiter's like, "Yes, you're here for murder, and yes, you're not a detective."
Yeah.
No, I am a detective. I am a detective.
And it's like,
No. He said it again. He said it on TV again. You're definitely not a detective, and you should be arrested on first sight.
and she's like, what does he mean? And he's like, oh, it must be a mistranslation, Audrey. It must be a mistranslation. And then on the telly, the detective goes, I will say this in English. And he goes, he isn't a detective. She's like, oh.
That's quite funny.
It's just the way he turns around and goes, and I will say this in English, Nick Spitz is not a detective. It's like, you motherfucker, you knew his wife might be watching there, you cock-blocking bastard.
Yeah, he's done that.
You cold motherfucker.
It's funny the way they did that, though.
But then, when then Nick admits that he's failed the exam like 20,000 times and he's lied about the raise and all this shit, and that he hadn't planned the honeymoon or the trip to Europe, and she gives him shit about it. But like I said before, it serves her fucking right, because obviously she's forced him to this. Definitely not his fault. He has done nothing wrong, people. Nothing wrong.
He was pressured.
He was pressured into this. And then he says, well, what about you? You fucking all you are is a goddamn hairdresser. And she goes, oh, how dare you tell me what my profession is? Walks off.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I hate it when that shit happens.
Yeah, it does wind me up at the end of the day, right? If you're not happy with what your profession is, get a new job.
Oh, exactly.
Simple as that. You know what I mean?
Like someone goes to me, oh, you're nothing but a recruitment consultant. Like, well, yeah. But I'm not defined by my... I hate that shit in society, that you're defined by what your fucking career is. Who gives a fuck?
Nah, definitely.
Like when someone comes up to you and goes, oh, so what do you do? It's like, you really fucking care? Do you really fucking care what I do for a living?
Not really.
No.
Not really.
No. Anyway, so Nick buys burner phone. Oh, then Audrey suddenly goes with Charles. Because the police can't find Audrey and Nick, but somehow Charles Cavendish can.
Oh, straight away. But then it's one of scenes, isn't it? It's like if you've seen your missus again, you've had an argument, and next minute you sat on a park bench with the guy who's got you into all this like trouble in the start, and then you get in the car and go off together. You'd be like, yeah, divorce, bitch.
It's a bit fucking dodgy.
Well, dodgy. I'd be like, you've just been like banged in the back of there. Do you know what I mean? You're not coming home with me.
Yeah, because at least, like from our point of view, he says to her, oh, where's Nick? And she goes, I don't fucking care. He's dead for all I care. But from his point of view, it's like, all right, then, well, if you're going to do that, I'm going to take this burner phone and I'm going to start following Susie. I'm going to bang her. Anyway, and somehow they both end up in Lake Como.
It's a different country.
Yeah, it's Italy, yeah. So somehow.
She'd well be getting a fucking divorce. Not only if you like had an argument, you got into a car with a millionaire, but you fucked off to a different country.
Yeah. And like,
how did they cross borders with no passport?
Well, they're in Europe, aren't they? They're in the Schengen zone. So.
You still get...
No, but you could literally drive from Monaco to Lake Como without You'd pass borders, but there's no border checks in Europe. Once you're in Europe, you're free to roam.
I thought you'd still do like passport checks or whatever.
No.
Oh, I thought you still do passport check. No one like the borderlands.
No, I'm pretty sure they don't. I think so. They travel over to there, but even so, pretty sure. Like we can have a look now and see Monaco to Lake Como, but I'm pretty sure that's not just a quick 5-minute drive down the road.
That's about 5 or 6 hours at least, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I know Nick says that he followed Susie there, but how exactly Nick follow anyone anywhere?
He's got no car.
Exactly. He's got no car. He's got no passport. He's barely got 2 fucking coins to rub. Yet he somehow managed to follow some rich bird who's got all the resources in the world to Italy, to Lake Como. And we're supposed to believe he just manages to fucking keep up with her.
Good point.
And arrive pretty much at the same time Audrey did, who'd left, like, possibly, well, it was, put it this way, it was nighttime when she left with Cavendish.
Yeah, it's the next day now, at least.
And it's the next day at least when we see Nick walk out the hotel and put a burner phone into Susie's house. Into Susie's bag, sorry, not into her house. I just say random words. I'm getting worse than you. It's like,
I'm bad for it as well.
why the fuck would he put a burner phone into a house?
It's one of pop-up houses.
Where did that word come from?
Like a pop-up house, like no pop-up tent when you throw it down. Like with a bag, it just goes palace. She's that rich, mate. She's got a pop-up palace.
She must have.
It's like a bungalow. Fucking putting it down, mate. Nobody buy a new one.
But yeah, that don't make sense anyway. So how they got there so quick? But in fact, I'm gonna have a quick look now. I'm gonna pull up Apple Maps on my laptop and just put Monaco to Lake Como and see how long it's gonna take. So
it's the fine detail in these films
Monaco
that you need to look
Lake Como.
When
Monaco
they pulled
the
up at Lake
country.
Como at the library,
Yeah.
when Cavendish got out of the car to go inside the library and left Audrey on her own, did you get the feeling that car was going to blow up?
Yes.
Because the way he left her in the car, I thought the car was going to blow up. But she's going to get out and then the car's going to blow up.
Yeah, I was wondering that. Because it was really weird the way she left him, because he's like, I'm just going to nip into this. Was it a lawyer's office? Was that what it was supposed to be?
A library, basically, wasn't it?
Yeah, it turned out to be pretty much a library. But yeah, and then she finds the sponsor in the back of the car, doesn't she?
Yeah. Sponsors.
She does. She finds a pack of Claritin, but it's not any normal Claritin. It's Japanese Claritin.
Oh, yeah.
And who do we know who's Japanese?
That's a little bit stereotypical, you know, because I don't think she's nipped to Japan just to get some, like, hay fever tablets.
I know, and then just
you would have bought the ones that were in Spain or wherever it is that you're living at the time.
Oh, yeah. And then just happened to leave them in the back of the car, just conveniently.
Conveniently.
Okay, right, okay. Give them the benefit of the doubt. It is about 5 hours from Monaco to Lake Como.
Called it.
Yeah, you did actually. You did say about 5 hours. You can tell you drive for a living.
That's it, mate. You human sat nav.
But yeah, and then the one thing I don't get about this scene, right? So, is they go into this library, right? And well, she follows them in because she finds the Japanese Claritin in the back of Cavendish's car, and she says, "Oh, you know, why is this in here?" Forgetting completely that obviously Susie and Cavendish used to date. So, you know, it might be a case that, you know, this rich guy hasn't had his car cleaned out in a while, so he may have left some Claritin in the back of the car. Plus, Japanese or not, you know, I'm going on a tangent now about Claritin. Anyway, fuck the Claritin. She finds it. She runs into the legal office, and it turns out to be some kind of library.
We're not sponsored, by the way, with Claritin.
No, the film was, quite clearly. I'm surprised it doesn't say Netflix up in that corner, which it does, and then Claritin in this corner, if I'm honest. That's how bad it was.
It was bad.
I mean, I can't remember what the other brand was, but whatever it was, they kept slating it in favour of Claritin.
Did actually?
Yeah, because even when they're in Monaco, when she goes over to speak to Susie, and Susie just does that fake-ass sneeze, and she goes, "Oh, maybe you want some Claritin." And it's just like, fuck off with Claritin. Fuck off with your fucking Claritin. I didn't really know what Claritin was, but now I just want to go out to buy some. That's how much it worked.
Every week you're like a dog with a bone or something.
What do you mean?
Well, this week it's Claritin.
Yeah.
Last week you were going on about a certain thing what happened in Mario. Week before that you was on about the guy's hat. Week before that you was on about Jean-Claude Van Damme's ball sack.
Well, that was a couple of weeks, that. Every Jean-Claude Van Damme film, it's about his balls. Where did he go?
I don't know.
Does anyone know? No one's answered me yet. I ask this every week.
Where does Jean-Claude Van Damme's balls go when he does the splits?
Yeah, so if you've not watched any of the previous podcasts, Jean-Claude Van Damme likes to do the splits in his films, but his legs go up, and I'm pretty sure his balls must go inside. Otherwise, he's just sat on his balls.
And that would hurt, that.
That would fucking hurt.
Slamming your body weight down.
The analogy I used on one of the previous podcasts was it would be like Randy from the South Park when he has the big balls and he's riding them like a space hopper. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying now.
Yeah.
So anyway, so they go into the law office and
Yeah.
it's more like a fucking library. And she's sneaking around looking for Cavendish and possibly Susie because she sees Japanese and automatically thinks Susie.
But you don't see either of them, do you?
No, you don't. Well, you do. Not in there, anyway.
No.
And then all of a sudden, she finds Nick, who kind of out of nowhere is like, Audrey. And she's like, oh, shit. He's like, I followed Susie here. And she's like, well, I'm here with Cavendish. Oh, they must be together. What's going on? Oh, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, they start getting shot at.
I'm not surprised, to be honest with you, because There is a library. It's really quiet, but how loud are they talking with each other?
I know. I
They're
mean,
like shouting. It's like, well, somebody 4 floors above you heard everything you've just been saying.
yeah, and I'm not surprised someone shoots at them.
I'm not surprised.
Mate, if I was in the library studying and 2 loud people come in and I just happen to have a gun here, I'm going to fire a few pop shots off at them and just like, maybe just give them the odd shush. Shh. Anyway, so they get shot at, but the whole reason I'm mentioning this and just took 10 minutes setting the scene is for this one question. Why doesn't the gun person or the gun man or whatever run over to them with the gun and kind of shoot them at close range? Because I'm pretty sure they probably know that Audrey and Nick are not armed.
Yeah.
So why all the, I'm going to hide behind this bookcase and come out and shoot, and then hide behind and come out and shoot you from over there and let them hide? You would literally just start walking over to them like this. And as soon as you get a clear shot, bang, bang. They've not got anything to protect themselves.
No, that's kind of a trope thing, isn't it? Just
It
so
is.
it's for the viewers. Don't
Yeah.
guess who the killer could possibly be.
No, I mean, I could have solved this like that. But I am technically a genius.
Did you know who it was then from the start?
Yes.
No, you didn't.
Well, I'd seen it before, so I did.
Dick. On your first time.
On my
I
first
didn't
time.
think it was her originally.
Her?
Ooh, giving it away. Spoilers.
Oh.
So they see Susie now trying to escape down the street. And they chase after her. You also meet Carlos in the middle of the street as well.
Okay, so this goes back to what I was saying before, right? It's never explained why Cavendish or Susie are there at the same time.
No. They don't explain a lot of things in this.
No.
There's a lot of plot holes if you go looking for it.
All it does is set up briefly as to make you think that it's Susie and Cavendish that are some reason plotting, even though it's quite clear that he was about to sign the will to say that she was going to get everything, so why would she now go and kill him anyway? And then it's somehow that Cavendish and... Because either way, Cavendish was going to inherit the money, so there was no point... If their plan was to finish off Cavendish to get the inheritance, then there would be no point in her marrying Malcolm Quince in the first place, because he was going to inherit some of it before she came along anyway.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. And then, obviously, it's not them two that did it, because Susie gets killed by a dart to the neck. And where did she get a gun from?
I don't know, but she pulled a gun out, didn't she?
She pulled a gun out on them, which, again, isn't explained.
Because guns are illegal in France, aren't they? Oh, Monaco.
Pretty sure.
Or like Italy, it would be, wouldn't it?
Well, I'm pretty sure handguns are pretty much well controlled in the whole of Europe.
Yeah.
Not
It's
to the
something
point
you can
where
pick
you
up on like 7-Eleven or whatever.
No, they're not in America now.
No, that's it. It's hard to get hold of. It's illegal. But yeah, she's got one in the bag.
Yeah. And she pulls it out in public and starts waving it about like it's nothing.
No one else in the street like was bothered either, was there? Just carried on.
I know. They just kind of stood round watching. I think someone even films it at one point. on the phone.
No, they filmed where they started playing a game of charades. Because as she was dying, she couldn't talk. So Audrey was above her, who said, right, okay, who is it? Who's done the killer? And then she starts doing like sign language, like playing a game of charades.
This whole section, though, is stupid because it's like the only reason they could have just kept Nick and Audrey together. They didn't need to split them up to bring them to Lake Como. It's almost like Sandler just thought, you know what, during this trip to Europe, I want to go to Lake Como, but we just need to, for some reason, change location. And this is the only thing they could think of to get them to Lake Como for some reason.
Have a lover's tiff.
Yeah, and to some reason get rid of fucking... Like, through the whole thing, there was no reason in this whole film for there to be this subplot about Nick pretending to be a detective. Why not just make him a detective in the first place? Or why does he even need to be a detective? Because he's a shit detective. He detects nothing.
Yeah, it's Audrey, isn't it?
Yeah. There's no point. That whole little side plot was... There was no point to it. It builds up a slight bit of tension between them for it to all to be resolved in about 2 minutes.
That is it. The whole premise of him failing his detective was them to have that little lover's tiff in Monaco.
There was no reason for it. They could have gone through the whole film without that being there. They could have just stuck with the whole, he promised he'd take me to Europe 15 years ago.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be a detective.
No. The whole film, though, to be honest with you, mate, 90% of it didn't need to be in there.
No.
It's literally 90% of the film didn't need to be in there. There's so much sad shit we didn't.
We just want to make a whodunit. Like, did this come out about the same time as Knives Out? Was this kind of their version of kind of... Because Knives Out, I don't know if you've seen Knives Out.
I've not seen it.
Or The Glass Onion. They're much better than that.
I've not seen them yet.
Like, I like a whodunit, you know.
Mm.
You know, the I can't remember that. What's that one on the train, the Agatha Christie one?
Murder on the Oriental Express?
Yeah, like that type of film. You know, I like a whodunit. I love a thriller, that type of film. But like this is just it's if you're a movie fan, all I can say is exactly what it is. It's a Sandler's version of a whodunit.
I was just about to say that. It's a Sandler film. Yeah. It's a classic Sandler film. It's meh. So that's why today I will apologise in advance. We are struggling a little bit to actually try and do this as a podcast. It's a difficult one.
It's no content to it, really.
No.
It's just a half-assed written story. And to me, again, it's just Adam Sandler who just wants to get him and a couple of his mates together, and he's just decided this time he wants to go to Europe.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's literally one scene to a pointless scene to another pointless scene. No, not a lot of content to it. There's not a lot of depth to it either. It's all just like skimming, isn't it, between each scene? Because
at this point, it's just like, okay, right, so you're kind of now trying to say that it's Cavendish and Susie are teaming up. Yeah. Oh, no, wait, now fucking Susie's dead, so there's another dead body. And it's like, Susie died in the most stupid way, like I say. She pulls a gun on them in the street, and you think, oh, well, maybe it is Susie. But then it turns out that Susie's kind of just a bit miffed off that they're following her, which you kind of would be. And then all of a sudden, there's a dart into her neck, and they turn round, and that guy goes, "Hey, Halloween!"
Yeah.
And there's literally someone there in a mask and a cloak with a fucking, what do they call
blow dart.
A blow dart gun. Has just fired this in Lake Como, in Europe, blow dart to kill someone. Let alone this person who has been trying to kill them in the library like 2 minutes ago had a gun.
Yeah.
And now they've got somehow... Did they bring the blow dart with them? Did they bring the darts from home? Did they poison the dart? Did they think...
Did they plan it all ahead?
That's what I mean. Did they think, oh, at some point I might need this massive blow dart gun, so I'll keep it with me at all times just in case I do need it. I mean...
And to top it off as well, when Nick threw the plate and it smashed her on the head.
Yeah.
Right? Well, smashed the character on the head, the mask.
Yeah.
They dropped the blow dart gun on the floor. So why didn't you get DNA evidence from the pipe since they're spitting into it to blow darts?
I didn't even think that. It would have been on the dart as well.
Yeah.
The dart that was in Susie's neck. So the police could, if that actual detective, Frenchy, actually did his job, he could have pulled the dart out of Susie's neck and taken it to the lab and analysed it and got some DNA and said, oh, it was her or him or whatever.
Saliva is all over it.
It is. I never even thought of that, but yeah, it's fucking stupid. Oh, and I forgot to mention earlier on that it's mentioned that Nick apparently barely made it through the police academy because he's a bad shot with a gun.
Oh, we've seen that, didn't we?
Yeah, so he tries to shoot at the person in the mask with the gun, and with a gun that he gets off Susie, is it? And basically misses every shot.
Yeah, we find out that Charles is now dead as well at his house.
Oh, that I did think that was funny though, because he goes, where are the detectives? Like, obviously come to the body now of Susie, and he goes, where are Audrey and Nick? And he goes, oh, it's Nick on the phone for you. He goes, we're heading to Quincy's villa, and he goes, oh, okay, that's easy then. I'll meet you there. And it's like,
I forgot about that scene. It's actually quite funny, to be fair.
They think at this point that it still is, that it must have been Charles that was the guy in the mask and the blow dart.
Yeah.
But we arrive at Quincy's villa and they find Charles dead. So it's not Charles. So far, it's not Charles. It's not Susie.
No.
It wasn't Toby.
No.
Quince didn't kill himself.
No.
Malcolm. Who else is dead? It wasn't Sergey. Sergey didn't do it. So who have we got left? We've got
4 people left now. We've got Vic, the Colonel, the actress, and Carlos.
Yeah. Vic is the Maharaja.
Yeah.
And then Carlos is the F1 driver that can't speak English. Anyway, so they get there and they realise that fucking it can't be Charles because Charles has been poisoned. So what do they decide to do? Audrey says to Nick, oh, well, we need to cancel the police coming. And Nick's like, well, they're not like a pizza delivery. We ask them to come, they're going to fucking come. And then they said, oh, well, what are we going to do? And they're like, well, we're just going to have to get everyone together and fucking blag it.
Yep. So they're getting them all together with the cop as well. So the Frenchie is there. He's listening to it. But then Nick and Audrey are going over all the evidence and everything what they've found so far. So instead of actual pointing a finger at them, they've given an alibi to every single one of them who are in the room except for themselves. So we've got Vic, who was with the actress in bed at the time.
Yep.
And they're having a meet or drink downstairs.
Yep.
The Colonel, he was flossing, so he couldn't have done the murder.
Yep.
And then you got Carlos. He was, where was he at the time?
Yeah, he was somewhere very fast. But I love that bit because like they go through and they go, so it wasn't him, it wasn't him, it wasn't him, and it wasn't her. And then he looks at her and he goes to Audrey, Nick goes to Audrey. So if it wasn't you and it wasn't you and it wasn't you and it wasn't you, and he goes, holy shit, maybe it was us. And then he looks at Audrey and goes, was it you? She's like, wait, what? and then they somehow, through some convoluted fucking explanation, which I don't know if I can't be bothered explaining.
Is this about Grace?
Yeah, so
yes, to find out Grace was the bastard child that Malcolm had with the Colonel's wife.
Yeah. But it turns out it wasn't a boy, it was a girl.
It was a girl, didn't die at birth.
Yeah.
Grace has a different name because she changed it due to the stage name. French asks, what else did they have for evidence? Audrey figures out that she's got a new hat on. And then there's a cut on her head when they take the thing off, when the plate got hit her on the head earlier from Nick.
It's funny, though, when the police guy goes, when she goes, he goes, oh, no, yes, I am the daughter of Malcolm, and I'm going to go spend my money now. And the copper goes to them, well, what other proof do you have? And he goes, what? Aren't you going to do anything? Aren't you fucking going to do anything here?
You on holiday or something around here?
Yeah, that's what he said. It's a French holiday we don't know about because you've literally done fuck all for this investigation. All you've done is point the finger at us because we're American and we just happen to be there. And you've done literally
nothing.
No, nothing. You've done nothing. You expected them to do it all. But I love that when he goes, what other proof do you have? And he goes, aren't you going to do anything at all? Anyway, she takes the hat off. She's got a cut. It turns out the butler did it.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, her original surname in French was Butler, and Nick says, "Oh, the butler did it. I told you the butler did it. Ha 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 ha." And then she grabs hold of Audrey somehow, and Nick grabs the gun off the Colonel and fucking somehow manages to shoot Grace in the shoulder, and
she's arrested. That's it.
He says to her, "Oh, thank God, I was aiming for her foot." He was aiming for her foot and shot her in the shoulder. So, ha 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 ha.
Yeah, that's how bad his aiming is. After the arrest, Grace, they discover that Carlos can actually speak English after all.
Yes.
And he is the second killer.
The accomplice.
That's it. He's been working along with Grace.
I
since
go
day
fast
one.
now. I go fast now.
I go fast now when he jumps in the car.
Yeah. I go fast now.
So Carlos escapes with a police officer in the car. He takes him as hostage. Audrey and Nick jump into a Ferrari, and that happens to have the keys in ignition for some reason.
Yes, I wrote that because he goes, "Oh, a Ferrari Testarossa, Magnum PI, the mustache, Magnum PI. I'm going to drive. And they get in, and obviously it's a British car. And
Wrong side.
They get in on the wrong side, yeah. But yeah, like you say, how did they get in the car and did they hotwire it? Because she just manages to start it.
Keys are in there.
Keys are just in. Stupid.
That's how rich they are, mate. They can have a Ferrari, a classic Ferrari, just sitting there in the
Testarossa.
driveway
Yeah.
with the keys in ignition.
I tell you what, growing up, Ferrari Testarossa was one of my favourite cars.
Oh, yeah, lovely cars, aren't they?
Yeah, I remember I used to have a little toy model of it, like a Matchbox car.
Mm.
It used to be my favourite one.
I'm saying for Lamborghinis, though.
Yeah. Oh, Lamborghini Diablo.
Yeah.
Oh, were you a Diablo or a Countach? I
Diablo.
loved the Diablo, me.
Yeah, Diablos. Lovely.
Yeah.
The 4x4 ones are nice as well, aren't they?
Got your dirty mouth. What, the Lamborghinis?
Yeah, the new Lamborghini 4x4s.
They should be saying the fucking Lamborghini tractors are nice.
Oh, they're nice, mate.
No, I don't know. To be honest, I've not seen the 4 before.
I like the John Deere tractors. So a nice little chase happens throughout the city. Quite liked it as well.
Couple of goats.
Yeah, they crash the car. Frenchie gets out by blowing smoke rings as soon as he wakes up, doesn't he? Carlos then gets hit by a bus, which was the tour bus from the start that they should have been going on.
The one they were supposed to be on.
Why was nobody freaked out when Carlos was just splattered by a bus? There's people just walking around in the background not bothered. Like, it's just been hit by a bus doing like 50 miles per hour.
Yeah, and the tourists kind of get off the bus like nothing just fucking happened.
Yeah,
like
really
this
weird.
was just an everyday occurrence. The other thing as well, right? I meant to rewind it back to check, but I'm pretty sure as they're doing their little driving through their little race car chase is the word I'm looking for through the streets.
Yeah.
Of are they still in Lake Como at this
I
point?
think so, yeah.
Anyway, wherever the fuck they are, they're doing the little car chase, and obviously she's driving really well, and they go through two goats. But they drive through a plane at one point. What the hell is that about? Why was there a plane in the middle of the road?
I don't know, but they're in Lake Como now, aren't they?
Are they in Lake Como? Or are they
don't
back
know.
in Monaco?
I don't know, but the French police was in Lake Como because when Susie got killed, they attended the scene.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't have jurisdiction.
Although, he does say he's Interpol, doesn't he?
No.
I think at the end he says, on behalf of Interpol, we gave you...
But still,
he may
can
have
they,
been Interpol.
Can they just get about?
But he does say, when they arrest him, he says, well, he was killed in French jurisdiction, therefore... Because that's when she realises, because of French inheritance law, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Because apparently French inheritance law, I don't know if it's in real life or just as part of this film, but it doesn't matter what the will says. When someone dies, their inheritance is split equally among their children, bastard or not. So that's why they wanted to kill him in French waters, because apparently for some reason French inheritance law would kick in. But would that even apply if his money wasn't even in France? Because if I went on holiday to France and died, does that mean my estate then becomes subject to French inheritance law? Or would it not be subject to English law, because that's where I'm from and live, etc., and where my money is?
Okay, that only works, the French inheritance thing, if they die without a will.
Does it?
Yeah.
So if he had a will previously anyway, it wouldn't make a fucking difference. She wouldn't get anything.
Don't think so, no.
The whole thing just doesn't make sense. And because basically, in case we didn't explain it very well, Grace's plan all along was to get him killed in French waters or in French territory.
Yeah.
So the French inheritance law would kick in, which means that no matter a will or anything, according to this film, the will, the estate of the deceased will be split between the deceased children. No matter what the will says, it'll be split equally between all children, legitimate or illegitimate. So because she is
Technically,
technically
bastard child.
his daughter, then she's the only remaining heir, so she would get the full estate regardless. And that's literally the premise of why she killed him, why she set all this up. So it turns out that she convinced Toby to kill his son that he knew about, to kill him. So it was Toby that actually killed Malcolm in the first place with the help of Grace. And then Grace then kills Toby and does the other murders with the help of the F1 driver.
Yeah.
Because she now thinks that she's going to inherit all this 70 million. And that's basically the gist of the fucking story.
Pretty much it.
It's just convoluted bollocks. It doesn't make sense. And there's loads of little subplots. So they keep mentioning Claritin. And then for some reason, then the detective apologizes to him at the train station and says, on behalf of Interpol, we've bought you this holiday, because I'm sure that happens all the time.
Did you notice what the holiday was?
Oriental Express.
It was.
Yeah.
Another murder mystery.
Yeah. So, anyway, and then the film ends.
Oh, good for you.
That was the wrong one, wasn't it? Oh, no. Hey.
I had to throw both out.
Good job. If you're still with us at this point, thank you, because it means that you really wanted to hang on, because at this point, I feel like just going home, because this is a hard film to explain.
It really was.
It's
It was
weird.
a lot harder than I thought.
I said at the beginning that it's a hard film to review because it's not a bad film at all, really. We've
We'll talk
reviewed
about that in
worse.
a second, though.
Yeah.
Before we do that,
Yeah, sorry. Go on.
let's get onto the click quiz, the results. So this
Okay,
is the reason
okay.
why people have been staying around. So thanks very much.
Yeah, yeah.
You get the answer for your click quiz.
Stop making fun of me. Oh, damn. It's Kyoto.
It's Kyoto. And Bobby Boucher.
What film was that?
Waterboy.
What a boy. If you got that right,
Hooray!
give yourself a pat on the back.
Gatorade.
Gatorade.
H2O.
Each week, we give the films different awards. Now, the critics might have rated this film really low because we're covering it on this episode or our podcast. It doesn't mean it's a really bad film rated. Like we think it is anyway. No, it's just what the critics give it anyway. So at the end of each film, we give the awards. We got the best actor, best character, worst character, hot babe award, and 3 things you liked about the film, and then your personal rating out of 10.
Yeah.
So let us know down below in comments or contact us on email.
6andbelowpodcast@gmail.com.
That's right. Let's go for the King Kong Award.
Yeah, that's right. You better walk away. Go on, walk away, because I'm going
Mr.
to burn
King
this
Kong here.
motherfucker down.
Yes.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
That's right. Best Actor Award. Who have you gone for?
To be honest, it's a bit of a bad bunch, innit, to choose from. I like Charles Cavendish. I think he played the role well.
He's a good actor in general, isn't he?
Yeah, so I'd probably give it to him.
Okay, I've gone for Frenchie.
Have you?
Yeah.
I was thinking Frenchie. He
I mean-
was quite fun.
Was he really blowing them hoops?
I have no idea. If he was, then props to him because they're hard to do. And I mean, and he played being French very well.
Yeah, because he's not actual French, is he?
I have no idea.
Oh,
I
do you know what?
assumed that he was French.
I didn't clock on until doing the editing for Mario.
Oh, yeah.
The guy who plays Iggy,
Yeah.
the one from Short Circuit,
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot to mention it. Do you know who he plays in Short Circuit?
Who?
Ben,
Which
the
one?
Asian guy.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Really?
What, yeah, one of the Cooper brothers, the one who has the dark hair with the
Yeah,
glasses.
yeah. I know
Yeah.
what you mean, yeah.
Well, he played in Short Circuit as
An
Ben.
Asian.
Yeah, so he put on
Like an Indian fella.
accent and then painted his face to make him look Indian with the hair and everything.
So,
It's
it's
not-
been years since I've seen it, but isn't he the guy that creates Johnny
Yeah.
Five?
Yeah, it's Johnny Five. He's alive.
Johnny Five is alive?
Yeah, he's not Indian.
That's him.
Yeah, he's English. A white English guy at the black faced.
No.
I forgot to mention it last week,
Oh, my God.
but it is.
Johnny Five is alive? That's him.
Short Circuit is on our list to do as well.
Mate, we need to do Short Circuit. Can we get that anywhere? Can you even view that anywhere?
I think it's on Amazon.
I'll have to have a look. Fucking hell. As
Yeah.
if that, though. So who did you choose? You're choosing Frenchie.
Yeah.
Right. Go on.
Worst Actor Award. The Seagull Award. The Golden Seagull.
I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent. To the blood bank.
That is the Golden Seagull Award, ladies and gentlemen.
That's it. You don't want to know where that seagull's penis is.
So, who's your worst actor?
Oh, I'm going to have to give it to the Maharaja. You got the same, yeah?
We've actually agreed.
He was terrible.
Did you like wet anybody up in it? Ping, 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 ping.
I know it would have been better if he had just stayed as a fucking Indian fella.
Ali G, why?
It's like the opposite of that guy you were just speaking about. It's like, it's an Indian fella tending to be British.
It's awful. Absolutely
Although,
awful.
Was he actually British? Because that was a pretty bad Ali G accent.
Yeah, I think he is, yeah.
I think he was just putting it on trying to be a white boy.
No, I think he's British, but...
I think he's
Yeah.
just, no, but what I mean is I think he's just trying to play a fucking white boy there.
Yeah, it's British.
Yeah, but I mean with the, oh yeah, you know.
Why did you...
No, anyway.
Probably. Best character. 3, 2, 1. Carlos. You meant to say it at the same time.
I know. To be honest, I've not written any of this down. I'm just kind of going with the flow. I was just trying to think who it could be. Best character.
Yeah, Carlos is funny.
Yeah.
Fast.
He is funny, yeah.
Be fast, yes, yes.
Be very fast, yeah. You go fast now? Yeah, I'll give you that, yeah. No, he was good. He was a good character. I'm trying to think who else is in it. I think it'd be between him and Frenchie.
Yeah, worst character.
Worst character. Maharaja again.
I've gone for Nick's partner's wife.
Oh, from the meal at the beginning.
Yeah, she was a
Bitch.
dick.
Yeah, she was a bit of a dick.
I mean, come on. The guy is paying for your food and your drinks and you're still giving him sly digs. No need.
Doing that whole thing where it's like, oh, I think she's, because at the end of the day, Audrey's found out, so she's going to know that she's complicit in it.
True.
So she can't be doing it to say, oh, I'm going to give him a fucking hard time because he's treating my friend like shit. But it's like, well, you've not told your friend that what he's doing. He knew. You were complicit in it. You knew all about it. Anyway, yeah, I'll give you that. She's an absolute cock.
Yep. Hot Babe Award.
Yeah, Gemma Arterton.
Have you gone Gemma?
Yeah.
I've gone for Jennifer. Susie was quite nice as well, to be fair.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah. But she was a bit of a bitch. But Gemma, don't know. Oh, I've got dry lips.
It's not saying dry lips, lad, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 things you enjoyed about the film.
Okay.
Want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. I like the scene where Malcolm was killed.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then they take the sword out, put it back in and whatnot. It's quite funny.
I was going to say that.
I like the car chase scene. Mainly because like it's quite good action, good music, AC/DC playing on in the background.
Yeah, yeah.
And I quite like the overall story to it. I like the real life, Guess Who Cluedo type thing.
Yeah. I do like a murder mystery, and I think this is probably one of the worst ones I've seen.
I've not seen a lot, to be honest with you.
I've seen quite a few, like the Knives Out ones.
I've not seen that.
You know,
I think Werewolves Within was better.
Werewolves Within was a good film, except for the ending.
Yeah, it let it down, didn't it?
It still haunts me that because it was such a good film until that reveal at the end of it.
Yeah, the way they did it was a bit dirty, wasn't it?
Yeah. So is in my 3 things now.
Yep.
So I like, same as you, pulling out of the knife. I like the F1 guy when he's like, yes, I go fast, yes, especially when he's getting in the car at the end and he goes, I go fast now.
Yeah.
And then I like that bit at the end, like it was just more of the comedy jibes, like when he says, holy shit, maybe we did do it. Did you do it? I like that bit.
Yeah.
It's good.
Rating out of 10?
I think they've pretty bob on with a 6, to be honest.
I've gone for a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I think they've got the scoring's pretty right on this one.
Yeah, I think they have.
Just like I say, just just summarizing, it's a weird film. It's one of them where it's been hard to explain, but I think because there's so many moving parts in it, it's always going to be a hard one. I think any murder type mystery film is going to be hard to explain, especially when they're trying to make moving parts. But the problem is some of the moving parts in this film, or some of the avenues they're taking us down, just don't end up anywhere.
No.
It's like the whole thing with the Susie and Charles Cavendish thing. Like, why were they in Lake Como together? Why were they there together?
There was
And, like,
nothing.
I know a bit later on we realise obviously why the F1 driver was there, because obviously Grace was there and what have you. But it's just, I don't know. There's better ones out there, but personally, if I'm putting it on our wall of fame here, so
Wait,
we've got
just before that.
Yeah.
Right. When Charles went to Lake Como,
yeah,
he went inside the building,
yeah,
never came back out.
exactly. He never came back out, and even if he did he just leave Audrey there? So he drove her all the way to Lake Como. He must have got back to his car, realised she's not there, and just said "fuck it" and headed back to the villa.
And
The other
not
thing is-
not to mention his ex-partner's dead outside the building as well.
Yeah,
There's got to be police incident around there.
that's a good point. And the other thing that I wanted to mention before, actually, that I forgot, was when they get to the villa
Yeah.
to do the whole kind of reveal thing and they find that Charles is dead. How is it that they all happen to be at the villa? Did they call them on the way to the villa to say meet us at the villa?
Mm. It's like you say, they all live in different countries and different areas. Why would you be hanging around the same region afterwards?
Yeah. And the other thing as well is, right, so if
Good point.
Grace was the daughter of Malcolm Quince, right?
Yep.
And they kind of imply, or they don't imply, or they do imply that kind of Malcolm knew that he had a daughter and that the daughter didn't die, but because he wanted a son, he basically decided to get rid of the daughter. Did Malcolm then later on in life, when Grace obviously comes back into his life, know that he was the daughter? That Grace was his daughter? Did he know? Is what I'm trying to get at.
Don't
Because
think we'll ever know.
Because Toby knew. Because we find out that it was Toby, the son, that killed Malcolm in the first place when Grace went outside the room and turned the lights out. But did Malcolm know? And if not, how did she end up within his inner circle to begin with?
There's
How
a lot
did
of
she
things
end
like
up
that, isn't there?
being in that room to start with?
Oh, why was Ali G?
Well, he kind of says, Malcolm says that their families have been intertwined quite a few years in business. But again, why, in that case, would Ali G have even been in the will anyway?
Yeah.
If Ali G, the Maharaja, has got his own family money and their family fortunes have been intertwined for years, is I think what Malcolm says, if I remember rightly. Then why is he there hoping to get a handout from Malcolm in the first place? Why would he be bothered about
Same with
missing out on the
Carlos.
will? Well, yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't give your employee something in your will, would you?
No, so that's the other thing, right? So the relationship between Malcolm and Carlos, what was that about? Or other than Carlos, did he say Carlos was his...
Race driver.
Yeah, so he races for his race team.
Yeah.
So it'd be like the head of Mercedes or something, or wherever Lewis Hamilton drives for.
Yeah.
So Schumacher back in the day, Ferrari. It'd be like the head of Ferrari saying to Schumacher, I want you to come here because I'm going to tell you that I'm not leaving you anything in my will. Be
Pretty
like,
much.
all right then.
It's a bit weird if you did. If anything.
It would be a bit weird, but so there's people in that room that kind of, you're thinking, well,
The
you're
whole
not,
film
why
was
would
like
you even be in the will in the first place anyway?
I don't know, mate. The whole film was like that.
It was.
It
But-
was. It's an odd one in a way. At the same
Saying
time,
that, I would still say it was worth a watch.
I would as well. I'm going to leave it in worth a watch.
I would say worth a watch. It's definitely it's again, it's a Sandler film, so it's kind of what a basic film should be. It's entertaining. It will keep you guessing throughout it who it's going to be. Well, obviously, you've listened to this, you know who it is now. But I would definitely say it's worth a watch. It's not
Yeah.
must see. I wouldn't say you need to go out and fucking see it now.
No. Here's one for you.
Yeah, go on.
Because we've got another Adam Sandler film in the worth a watch section, The Do
Yeah.
Over.
Yeah.
Which one do you think is a better film?
Probably murder mystery, to be fair.
Do you?
Trying to think the do-over now.
I thought Do Over was a lot more funny. More David Spade,
Yeah.
the German acrobat. Ties him up. He's about like stick stuff with his ass. He's like, that's a bit gay, that isn't it?
That's yeah, I suppose. I don't know. They're both pretty much on par. I don't know.
I think that's better. There's more action in it. There's more comedy in it.
I don't know. I think there's probably a bit more of a story in this one.
Yeah, more story in this one. Story's a bit pants in Do Over.
The do-over one. The do-over. Oh, that was it. The do-over one when he keeps pretending 1 minute he's an FBI agent, then he's works in a morgue, and then it turns out that he's dying
With 2 kids.
with his 2 kids. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'd definitely say this one. This one's the better film. Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm walking here.
Hey, you skank.
On that note, if you did enjoy it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the 5-star rating on iTunes or Spotify if you are listening onto them.
5-star rating.
5-star rating.
Rating.
Hit the 5-star rating.
Why are we even doing a podcast? Neither of us can speak.
I don't know.
We can't even speak this language properly.
See, I've got a good excuse. I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning, and it's 10 past 11 now.
I've got an excuse. I've not thought of it yet, but I've got one.
Okay. We'll let you know next week.
Just
then.
remember, if you're going to follow people, remember to put the burner phone in someone's house. That's all I'll say.
Pop-up house.
Yeah. But yeah. Thanks again for joining us. If you've made it to the end, you're a good one. And please recommend us to a friend. Tell your nan. We've not said that in a while, have we?
No, we're not actually.
No.
Yeah, tell your nan.
Tell your nan. Tell that bitch. But yeah.
This has been Eric.
And that's been Darren.
Thanks for watching. 6 and Below Movie Podcast.
Take care, guys.
Bye for now.